simplifies your life.
What the fuck was that, Ken?
Joey Fats Radio, row one, seat one.
I've been loving every second. I'm not rooting for injuries openly, but
I just pretended that was Brian Deegan.
I'm so fucking pumped. I'll be like, yeah, bitch, fuck
I will do that.
I'm gonna find him on LinkedIn and be like, "Did you punch a kid in the face? Tell me the truth."
All right, Sean brought his A game tonight. All right, okay, I like it. I like where this is going. And I don't want to put this as like a thing. Like he wasn't a bad guy, as far as we know.
Who said he was a bad guy?
I don't know, but I feel like we're painting him in this light that he was like this bad guy, and I don't want to do that. To this day, I hope you hear this. Fuck you. But rules are rules, okay? Stupid rule, but it was a rule. If you were a Crip and you were cooling in the cut, what do the Bloods do? Are they booling in the butt? Yep. Also, we are extremely juvenile, and yeah, whatever. Fuck you. All right.
You fucking smacked me in the ass, you dumb fuck.
You smack me in the ass, you dumb fuck. Yeah, that southern accent gets me every time.
it's a good one.
No matter what, like somebody like says, it's just funny. It's always funny to me.
Smack me in the eye.
Like
I catch myself doing it a lot.
Like one of my friends has like a southern accent at work, and every time he says something, I'm just like,
Yeah. My Asian friend who's from here who lived out west for a while has a southern accent.
Oh yeah, which is weird.
Yeah, because he lived here for a long time, then he lived out west.
It's like
and then he
Asian
has
goes closer to home, comes back with southern accent.
Yeah, don't get it, but whatever.
It's like, wouldn't you think it would be more Asian-y if that was the case? But anyway, Joey Fats Radio, row one, seat one. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. It is another absolutely beautiful Tuesday evening, live on the only the New Bedford Guide.
Found a better screenshot of that catch, but
Thank you all for joining us. 774-992-8702 is the phone number. We are going to dive into a bunch of fun topics tonight. We're going to get into the NFL draft, the Shador Sanders drama, the prank call heard round the world that almost got a defensive coordinator fired. Not really. We'll get into the NBA playoffs. We'll recap NASCAR bets from Talladega, where I once again don't listen to my own advice and don't take the people that I tell we're going to win.
bastard.
And I instead put all my money on Slick Willie, and he comes in third. So, oops. 1-9 on the season right now. I think we're up to 4 second-place finishes.
Dude, some NASCAR driver was on like wrestling, like Raw or something like that. He got booed from the audience. I don't know
Ryan
who it was.
Blaney.
Yeah, he got booed.
Yeah, because he didn't chug the beer.
Oh, was that it?
He had a big beer in his hand. They put the camera on him, and he had like a Stone Cold shirt, and he just like took a sip and was like, and everybody's like, what the fuck? It's like, dog, way to embarrass the sport. Like,
I thought he was getting booed because he was a NASCAR driver.
No.
Like in the way they were, they didn't like him.
no, if they put you on the Jumbotron and you have a beer, you're all, unless you're Aaron Rodgers and you have like a scotch in your hand.
Right.
But that's why he always had David Bakhtiari sitting next to him, because he would just be like, glug, glug. And everybody's like,
Yeah, but David would be like pissed. He'd be like, God damn it, I just bought these.
It's like, I got to do this shit
You would
again.
get free ones. Fuck that. You know that.
It's David Bakhtiari. I'm sure he can afford beers even at a modern-day sporting event.
Right.
Yeah,
Just
he
to get a couple
yeah.
cheers from
He's
the
like, I
crowd.
just want to enjoy and not have stomach issues.
It's like, can I get
No.
2 more Mick Ultra drafts, please? And they're like, yes, that'll be $37. You're like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Michelob. Yeah, those cherry ones.
Wow, they're on sale.
Yeah, right? Oh, wow, cheap today. Huh, good. I was hoping it was $20 beer night.
Isn't it 44 now for
Yeah.
two?
What's that?
I think it's 44 for two now.
Whatever it is. I don't even go to live sporting events anymore, and that's one of the reasons. Aside from the fact that tickets are so bloody expensive, you miss so much when you're there, and the concessions are just ridiculously over the top.
If you're going to go have a good day with 2 people, it's probably, depending on what sporting
Minimum
event,
$1,500 day.
I was just about
Minimum.
to say it's a $1,500 day. If you're going out to like football, basketball, baseball, you might be able to get away with because
if you get
tickets
like
can get like a couple hundred. You can get like $100. That's a nice ticket. Some places, $100. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, like when the Red Sox were good, you couldn't get into Fenway for less than $100. Even like bleacher seats were $100.
I mean, but I still
now that
picked
they
up-
kind of suck, maybe you can.
No, they're still expensive.
Are they really?
Yes.
Jesus.
I think I was running around Fenway in like either it was 2010 or 11, and I picked up a ticket from a scalper for like $35, and I saw like Manny Uke and like a bunch of dudes hit real quick, and then I fucking pieced out, and I was like, that was sick. And then, that was because I think Manny came back on the Dodgers. He was there
that was the yeah.
He was there, so it was cool because I get to see like
And he hit a
bunch
bomb.
I get to see a bunch of dope Red Sox people hit like Pedroia, all them, whoever the fuck it was, and then it was like, and then Manny came up or whatever while I was there, and then I was like, all right, that was pretty much everybody. See you later. And then I went and saw my girlfriend at the time at Jillian's where she was working. But it was like $35 for that ticket. $35 I think I picked up. I was like, fuck it, dude.
Yeah, I mean, after the game starts, you can always get them cheap if they're there. But
guy fucking,
But it's just so expensive to go, and like I don't know, like you go and like especially like
parking. People underestimate parking.
Dude, that's the other thing. That's a killer too.
You
Parking
you
is
can't
insane.
park anywhere around
And
Fenway.
nobody wants to take the fucking T in.
And we used
or
to
lame-ass train
we used to
that-
have little tricks. Like there used to be like little secret spots you could hide, like you could hide your car
Yep.
Not
for
anymore.
a game in Boston. Not anymore, dude. Not even close. It's
That
ridiculous.
shit's eating up. Maya Wu, get rid of that shit.
Mayo, whoop, we got
They
rid of it.
got that place on lock. They want every single spot to be getting money.
I can't wait until I can't wait till ultimately that congestion tax goes through. I know it got shot down once, but you know they're gonna try again.
Yeah.
Where they're like basically like they're gonna tax you to drive a car on the roads that you already pay taxes on.
Oh,
They did it in New York.
They're doing it in California.
No, I think it got shot
too,
down
aren't
in
they?
New York. I think New
No,
York.
New
Did
York had
pass
it for a while, and then they forced the firefighters, police officers, and all like the 24-hour people to pay it. And the guy's like, I'm not getting, and the city was like, I'm not getting reimbursed for this shit. Like, this is coming out of my paycheck. And the guy's like, I'm just not going to come to work anymore.
Yeah, what the fuck? Like, well, I mean, what? Yeah, it's ridiculous. I think it was Chicago that like ended up like subletting all or like leasing all their fucking parking meters to like some Middle Eastern company.
Well,
I have no
you
idea.
can do that
For,
now.
like 2,000 for like the next like 100.
Parking meters are a fucking
years.
scam too. Another reason why I don't go downtown New Bedford during
Dude, the
the week.
city of Chicago
Like, I
loses
would
out
go-
on like millions.
Do you know
of
how many?
dollars
You know how
a
many
year
times
because
I
of
want to
parking.
go? I want to go to like Rose Alley for lunch, and I just won't because it's not that I can't afford the fucking meter. I can afford it, even though it is ridiculous. I think it's like 25 cents for 20 minutes.
Yeah, and they don't even fucking and they don't allow you more than 2 hours. It's
Yeah.
like, bro, I'm going to Rose Alley to lunch. I might be there for fucking 5 hours.
Yeah, I want to go
bro.
get hammered, and I just don't. I just don't go.
Like,
I don't go a lot because I just don't. It's the principle.
Oh, gotta come out and put the fucking shit in it. And God forbid, like, something's wrong with your fucking car. You have a fucking rejection sticker or something's expired. And it's like you get smoked for like a $75 fucking fine. You get a
Some
boo
jackbooted
on your
Nazi
shit.
thugs over there writing you a
Yeah.
$50 ticket.
Oh, I'll never
That's
forget. We
sad.
used to yell at we used to yell at them downtown when we were leaving. We yelled at them a few times.
Oh, trust me. I remember I always think of that Family Guy skit when like Darth Vader's the meter maid.
yeah.
And
Oh,
he's
the
just-
guy just got to me today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He goes to the
Yeah.
bank. He's like, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna
Get
do
a
it.
real fucking job.
Yeah. So what is this you need a loan for? I want to create a Death Star. Like what? A sports bar. I meant a sports bar.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're gonna get into all the playoff talk for the Celtics are on right now. We'll
Down
live,
by one.
live react to that as it goes.
First quarter.
I don't think this is really
8
anything to
seconds
worry
left for
about.
the
I think tonight's more of a formality than anything.
I
We'll
don't
get
know,
into
man.
my-
Orlando's been playing them kind of tough.
We'll get into my Lakers a little bit.
Orlando, can I just give credit to Orlando is stealing my playbook from years ago with late in the game
Just
they
beating the crap out of people.
late in the game they put in their bench and they're like, fuck you, and they just have the guys like punch guys in the stomach and stuff like that and knock guys over. I'm like, that's what I've been saying to do for years.
You have been saying that. You were like, just put Perkins in there and just have him club people. It's
Take
all
out,
he's good for.
Take out,
Dude,
sacrifice a couple
They
guys.
elbow KP right in the forehead. The next two games, Porzingis has been dog shit after bleeding from the middle of his forehead. I'm telling you, it
right.
works.
I mean, there is something to be said for physical basketball because it's not a thing these days. Physical basketball has gone by the wayside. So if you
Dudes don't
get
know
teams
that
that
shit.
if you get teams that are physical and they're going to play you physical, and you get beat up a little bit, it takes a toll on these guys now because they're not used to it.
I mean, they're going to get, you have to play that line of like, you don't want to get ejected. You don't want to, and some of these guys, they need the game check
Yeah,
because
of
they're not
course.
superstars.
But yeah,
They
like,
got 9 kids.
nah, the guy that hit Porzingis in the middle of the head does not have 9 kids. He has
You
like
never know.
maybe 2.
Okay.
See, what they all should do is do the Anthony Edwards thing. It's like, you can have $1 million right now or child support for the next 18 years. And they're like, I'll take the $1 million now. And he's like, all right, good. Bye, bitch. See ya.
Yeah, write them off.
Yeah,
smartest thing I've
and
seen a
she
23-year-old athlete do in a long time.
She was pissed.
She's pissed as fuck about it.
She chose it.
I know, but now
Well,
she's like,
she
now
got
she's mad about it.
because everybody's like, "You idiot!" So now she's like, "Wait, what do you mean, idiot?" And then now she realizes she got smoked, and she got the one-time million? That's it, just 1 million.
No, it was a higher amount than that, but
Well, if you're smart,
I think
bitch,
it was. Yeah, I forget what it was,
If
but
you're
was
fucking
higher.
smart, you'll invest it, and you just live off of what it brings in, and you'll be
Yeah,
fine.
but she's
you're
not
an
gonna be
idiot, and you
smart.
want
Nope,
the
she's-
G-Wagon, and you
she's
want
gonna be
all the
sitting there
shit
on her
and the-
phone going, "Aiden needs more lunch money for his milk." As she's at the hair
no,
salon.
1.08 million.
Yeah, that ain't that much, bro.
Dude, that's a-
wow, man. That's like paying off your house loan mad quick instead of
That's a
paying
rare.
like,
That's a rare win for men in a child support case. It's a rare win, boys. Chalk that one up for win for the boys. We don't get many of those in those situations, so
and it's awesome.
got to enjoy them while we can. And Edwards is him.
Yep.
You know, he's knocking off teams. He's about to knock off the Lakers, and for all intents and purposes, let's be real.
Yep.
I don't see this Lakers team coming back from a 3-1 deficit. They blew Game 4, which was their chance to even
I
this up
thought
and
they were gonna make that.
make a run. They dominated the one game that they won defensively, but that has been non-existent the other 3 games, especially Game 4. I mean, LeBron just went ice cold in the fourth quarter. Could not do shit. I mean, it was not embarrassing, but it's
He got old in the playoffs this year. Like, he just doesn't look himself. He looks like he's
I don't think
uncomfortable.
no. It's,
I don't know that block the other night. Like he pulled. Like,
Yeah, he's
that
still-
was
he's
fucking
still
sick,
LeBron.
And I was like, God damn.
Listen, man, if you go back and look at LeBron's playoff numbers throughout the years, he's not
40.
that far off from what he's always been.
I know, but
Right.
he looks different. He just looks like.
Well, he's got a different team. You got to remember, this team changed
and he's 40.
5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago.
Right. They're just playing with.
Oh wait,
Luka.
is he 40 yet or is he 39?
He's 40.
He is 40.
He's
okay,
40.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, he's
Let's-
a month older than me.
And
let's
like
not-
you said, dude, Edwards he's that fucking new guy, dude. He is that guy, bro. He's my new favorite individual guy. It's funny because I was thinking about this the other day, and Edwards is he's like my new Garnett.
Mhm.
And it's funny that he plays for the Timberwolves too. I was like, oh, that's weird. I don't have a thing for the Timberwolves.
And he's got that attitude to him.
I don't have a thing for the Timberwolves whatsoever. It's just purely coincidence.
Timberwolves got lucky. You see that draft that he came out of?
Oh,
Every
did
other
they?
pick
Yeah.
is trash.
Right. And Anthony Edwards is like
Dominant.
generational fucking talent. It's like we might witness what like Derrick Rose could have been if he never got hurt. Is like in Anthony
Nah.
Edwards. I don't know.
Poor
maybe
Derrick
not,
Rose.
But I know. But I'm just saying it's like purely coincidental that like my favorite player individually. Obviously, I'm a Celtics fan, but like you got to have like an individual favorite player. You know that might
I
not
get that.
necessarily play for your team. Mine was always Kevin Garnett, and then all of a sudden he came to the Celtics, and it was like, well, this is fucking dope.
I
You know
grew
what
up, I grew up always liking the Dabs because of Dirk and Steve Nash.
Yeah, exactly. See, so everybody has like their favorite individual guy. Mine's been Anthony Edwards since he came into the league. and
Fucking
it just-
hate Steve Nash.
Really, you didn't like Steve Nash?
Why?
He was
When he
fucking
was with the
awesome.
Mavs,
Was he with Phoenix for a long
Fuck
time?
him.
Yeah, he was with
He went,
everybody.
he went to
Yeah.
the Suns afterwards.
He was with the Lakers for a minute too.
What was his first team?
Dallas.
Yeah.
That was Steve Nash's first.
Then he went to the Suns. That's when he was like him, Stat.
That's when I remember him was.
What was
Suns.
Leandro Barbosa was like
That's
sixth
when
man of
I-
the year a couple
yeah,
times, I think,
that's
with
when
them.
I know him. Remember seeing like one of his cards or whatever, and that's like what sticks in my
I remember him
mind
in a
is, like,
green
Suns.
Mavs jersey, like the
Suns.
original green Mavs jerseys. They
Yeah, he
were
was
awful.
a Mav before anything. That was what he was known for. But no, I've always had disdain for Steve Nash just because they gave him 2 MVPs over Kobe when it was clearly Kobe's MVPs to win, and it fucked
Fair
up.
point.
It was a shot to Kobe's legacy, and it pisses me off still to this day.
Oh, I mean that's
I went down a
It's not his
TikTok
fault.
rabbit hole on Kobe Bryant the other morning. I almost started fucking crying. I was like, all right, I got to get off this.
Dude,
Well-
Kobe was the fucking man.
Yeah, I was watching like the Michael Jordan stuff. I was like, oh, fuck this. I'm out of here. I was like, nope, not doing it. Not today.
Not today. Not today, TikTok.
Yep, sitting there
Nice
with my
try.
boots. I was all in bed, like waiting to go to work in the morning, like fuck this. And I was like, nope, not going down that rabbit hole.
Nope. I went.
I can't do that. Nope.
But no, I don't hate Steve Nash as much as I hate Jason Tatum. Because Jason Tatum, I think, has become, for me, he's my most hated athlete in sports now.
that is
Like,
so funny.
Now that Brady's gone,
It's Jason Tatum.
you know, like Brady's gone, all the old,
Until Drake May
the
starts
old regime.
winning 14 games.
Let's give it time.
Yeah.
nah, because there'll never be another run like that.
No, they won't have.
My hatred for the Patriots will always reign supreme. Like as a franchise, like I will always root. I jokingly say all the time I'd root for Al Qaeda before I rooted for the Patriots, but I'm almost not joking. Like, I will never root for the Patriots in almost any situation, except unless it's like going to benefit my wallet somehow. And even then, if they lose, I'll still be like, good.
I'm glad I paid for that.
I'm glad. You know what? That was worth it to me. But other than that, no, I cannot stand Jason Tatum, dude. There's just something about him that just pisses me off. Because, like, he's good, but he's not even an MVP finalist this year. He's not even in the MVP conversation.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised he wasn't in the
people
in the
are like
finals.
slobbing his knob, and it's like, dude, you're not even like.
Of course they're gonna be.
You're not even in the conversation. Like, you're barely a top 5 MVP candidate, if that. And everybody's like, oh, Tatum. Like,
he's,
and then you watch him play, and I don't know, dude. He's just fucking bitch, bro. Like, I just can't stand it. I don't know what it is about him. I just fucking hate him.
I just don't like how everybody lives and dies by the deep ball. If you don't have it some nights, you should try going to the hole. And no matter how many times Jason Tatum will score, drive into the hole, his ass will be stubborn as fuck if he's missing from beyond the arc and just sit behind there and keep bombing him out. And it's like, all right, dude, it ain't working.
See,
you drove to the hole in a crucial moment and got a 3-point play. Wow. And you're like, how about you just fucking do that?
Where
you
was
idiot?
that the last 5 possessions?
No
We wouldn't
shit.
even be in this situation.
Yeah. Well, meanwhile, they're on like an 11-2
I think
run.
I think it's more. I think it's more his like it's his off the court shit. It's texting Kobe's dead phone and like
all right, that was
cringy
that was
as
corny
fuck.
as fuck.
Ripping off Kevin Garnett after they won the championship.
I
Anything is
didn't
possible.
like that.
Like, wait, that like, okay, that was gay. Then he rips off fucking Jordan in the locker room, like Jordan and Kobe with the trophy.
Maybe he's just being
Then-
like corny Russell Wilson.
And then he rips off Kanye at the after party.
Do you think he's
Like,
trolling?
everybody wanted to know what happened, what I would say if we didn't win. Guess we'll never know. It's like, dude, are you just like going down a list of like shit that you like co-opted from other people? Like, are you just checking checking boxes now?
He's like, I gotta say all this awesome shit that I thought of in the shower in one night because I might never win another championship.
Like, dude, he's just so fucking corny, dude. Like, and I can't stand the way he like wears his uniform, dude. I can't stand his fucking haircut, his tattoos, like
I think he's
everything about
trolling.
him. I just fucking hate.
I think
dude.
he's trolling. I think he's actually
I
mad
thought
cool.
maybe he might have been.
He's like Russell Wilson, like
No.
corny trolling.
No, he's
Nah, because Russell Wilson's not trolling, dude. That's Russell Wilson.
Oh,
Russell Wilson's a psychopath.
Russell Wilson is a fucking cornball, dude.
oh I
He's a
thought he was-
psychopath.
Oh,
Do
is he?
you remember the video he posted with Sierra when he signed that extension with the Seahawks like 5 or 6 years ago?
No.
When he had his
I
big
keep seeing
gold
his
chain with
original
the cross, like laying in bed, and he's like, yeah, like, dude, it was
that one, yeah.
that shit was
kinda,
fucking corny as fuck, dude.
Yeah, I don't remember the details of it, but I vaguely.
It's like him and Sierra like laying in bed, and he's talking about like how blessed he is and God and all this other shit. It's like
I just fucked.
it's like what, dude? Like, yeah, I'm like, get out of here, guy. Like, you're a fucking loser.
No, all right,
He-
well,
he is a
Russell
weirdo.
Wilson, like, don't get me wrong. Russell Wilson's not a bad guy. I don't think Jason Tatum's a bad guy. I'm sure he's a fucking fine guy. I hate his shtick. I hate his act. I hate the way that they like portray themselves and whatever. And like, I just fucking can't stand Jason Tatum. And it's good because it gives me somebody to root against that like is more than just basketball. Like, because if Tatum wasn't this much of a cornball and went to any other team, I'd be like, yeah, cool, go win championships. I don't care. I think you're kind of loser, kind of lame, but I'm not going to root against you. The fact that he's this corny and this much of a fucking soft-ass crybaby, and he plays for the Celtics, and he's not even the best player on his own team, and listening to Boston fans just to put it the way the kids say, glaze him all day, every day,
I love that term.
is just like, it's phenomenal wreck for me to
It
watch.
just reminds me of the Ava Angelina video. Glaze.
Yeah.
I'm gonna glaze. Like it just.
How does it always come back to porn?
I don't know why, but it just reminds me like when people like like I see videos. It's like it's like that one dude who's always like over glazing or whatever, and it just I don't know why. I just think of that shit, but yeah.
But like,
Who's the next guy that you hate? Like if Jason Tatum wasn't on the Celtics,
KD.
Who?
KD.
Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant.
No. On the Celtics.
Oh, on the Celtics? Who's the next guy? I hate?
Like remove Tatum.
Derek White.
Derek White, without a doubt.
Oh, it's Derek White. Yeah. Oh, all
Derek
right.
White is like, hey, I'm just happy to be here.
I didn't know if it was like Drew Holiday or
Drew Holiday
Jaylen
is such an
Brown or
afterthought.
Horford or-
Average Al, I there's nothing to hate about. Like
What? Who hates Al?
I like Jaylen Brown because Jaylen Brown, I feel like even though like Jaylen Brown, like he has problems dribbling it off his foot and he kind of sucks. At least he's a fucking dog, bro. Like he gets in there and gets his fucking hands dirty and he gets shit done. And that's why like they won that championship last year. Mostly because everybody got hurt, but also because Jaylen Brown put the team on his back when Tatum fucking sucks.
Yeah, especially against Indiana when he like had that crazy shot.
Yeah, but Average Al is another guy who like I don't know, like I don't hate him, but I'm like, yeah, fuck you. Like with his sister out there fucking and his wife like just shut the fuck up already. Like he's the most mediocre fucking big man to ever play the game. Why we're even talking about him, we don't know. But the fact that your championship hopes like almost entirely depend on him is fucking disgusting to me. It's an indictment on the league. The fact that nobody can get past this Boston team is just like that's an indictment on the league. Like y'all should be ashamed of yourselves.
I'm pretty sure the Warriors, if we end up in the finals, like
Warriors ain't getting to the finals, I don't think.
Well, they're gonna be.
You mean because Jimmy and Draymond Green tend to have this team's number for no reason?
Yeah.
Listen, I think whoever comes out of the West is winning it. That was my pick before the playoffs started. It'll be Boston in the East, barring like a Cleveland upset, and I guess you can't really call it an upset because they were the 1 seed. But to me, it would be an upset because I think Boston is. As much as I shit on them, they are the most complete, deepest team in the maybe in the NBA.
But that would be an upset though, because Cleveland happened to get first place and Boston like dicked around like they usually do.
But if Donovan Mitchell doesn't get hurt last year, we're talking about an entirely different series. You know what I mean? So
possibly.
now this year hopefully we get the matchup that we wanted, which is a healthy Cleveland team versus a healthy Celtics team. And we see whoever the better team is after 7 games or 6 games.
Yeah, I don't know. I still think it's the Celtics, but
I do too.
Maybe I'm just being biased. I don't know.
I agree with you. I do too. I just think when it comes down to it, even though the Celtics had like the easiest road to the championship I've ever seen last year because Donovan Mitchell was hurt. What's his name? Fucking Buddy Hield was hurt. All these guys were hurt for Indiana.
Bucks all got hurt.
The Bucks all got hurt. Everybody got hurt. And, the only team they played was a Mavs team that caught absolute fire at the end of the year. Who had no big Miles Turner.
No. Indiana Pacers. He got hurt. Fucking
Halliburton.
Oh, Halliburton. That's what it was. Not Miles Turner.
Tyrese Halliburton. Sorry.
I was like, wait a minute, like Turner.
Yeah, I say Buddy Hield. I meant Halliburton. The only team they played was a Mavs team that had basically 2 players on it who caught fire and had to win I think 13 out of their last 14 games to get to 50 wins last year. And pulled off an incredible upset of Minnesota after Minnesota pulled off an even more improbable upset against Denver. So, like, the shit just fell.
So what was more?
The shit just fell the Celtics' way. Again, you can only beat the teams that are in front of you. They're not taking the banner back. It's not like the rings are coming out their fingers. I get it. They won. Blah, blah, blah. Fuck you. It was still a fucking more of a Mickey Mouse title than any of you fucking losers want to call the fucking bubble title. Oh, your Mickey Mouse title in the bubble, which is probably the hardest title that anybody ever had to win ever, but whatever. Oh yeah, because you're right. Because the Lakers, who were the clear-cut 1 seed that year, were like, yeah, no, we're not going to give you home court advantage in the Staples.
Joey, even if the Celtics won that year, I'm still claiming the championship, just like I said you should. But I was like, I don't really hear anybody talk about the COVID year like they give a shit. I think they just talk about it just to give you shit.
They talk about it like it doesn't exist.
Because people just fucking like love
because they
your
don't.
balls. I only have one person ever talking about it.
It's the national media says it. I've heard the national media say it.
Who?
Perkins has made jokes about it.
You know he's mentally challenged.
Like all these guys, I've heard the national shows make mention of the Mickey Mouse title. I can't remember who it was. Like,
Kendrick
fairly
Perkins
recently.
doesn't believe dinosaurs were real. Okay.
Was it? What was it? Was it? What's his name? Nate Burleson, or was it? No, it was. Was it Duke Iannacho? Somebody like that. One of those guys. One of those former NFL players made a
fake
comment.
Name Duke Nachos.
You know exactly who he is.
I know.
But anyway, but my point is that I would like to be, even though the Celtics had that smooth ass road to the finals last year, and they really didn't face any adversity whatsoever, that false confidence that you get from winning a title and being like, oh, we did it.
The pressure's off.
Yeah, like now there's less pressure. Now you're like
Tatum's playing better this year
because they're certainly not sitting there going like, well, we won, but we didn't get Donovan Mitchell, we didn't get Tyrese Halliburton, we didn't get
for quite a while. It's not like it was just like some fluke. Like
yeah,
we
and then they would. And then
how many teams do that?
And
though?
then Tyler Herro would come out and fucking light you up for no reason.
No idea.
Wow, Tyler Herro turned into someone put out a perfect tweet last night. Tyler Herro turned into the chick that plays 11 on Stranger Things. They were like
Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah, that's exactly what they turned him into.
You seen Millie Bobby Brown lately?
Is she 19?
No, I think she's like 21 or 22.
No, I was close.
Dude.
Paul, to the Google machine. Just type it so fast.
I was like, ChatGPT, dude.
21.
21.
She looks old as shit.
Oh my god, she was born in 2004. Jesus.
Yeah, no
Dude,
shit. 2025.
She looks old as shit. She does in that picture.
Yes, that would be 21 years ago.
I know. I just looking at it, it's like, whoa.
It's amazing how math works.
Yeah,
But
the maths.
but the thing is, like, the Celtics aren't looking at it like, like, oh, well, we didn't get these teams at full strength. But what they are saying is, we won.
I think
we beat the teams that were put in front of us.
Right.
That was the best the NBA had to offer.
Right.
And that accomplishment, that sense of accomplishment, and that sense of like, hey, we're the defending champs. That confidence can do a lot for that team. So
because
that's why I think it's the Celtics conference to lose. And then when we get to the finals, we'll see who they play.
I mean, look what Paul just said. Paul just said, "Oh yeah, but they were knocking at the door." Well, how many teams do we see knock at the door and never make it? Look at the fucking Thunder.
I mean, dude,
that
the
team was
Pistons
stacked.
The Pistons knocked at the door every year from 2005 on,
and they got one.
And they only got one.
And then after that,
but that's all it takes is for just the chips to fall your way. That one time after you've been knocking for so long, they finally found that path where they got there. I guess I'm like,
wait a minute. The Pistons, I will say, they won, and then there was like so much of relief that they all turned to shit.
No, because they went to the Eastern Conference Finals every single year after that.
Yeah, but then they never they never had like that winning mentality. That year they won, they were like dominant dogs.
The 05, they went. Oh, was it? Oh, yeah. 05, they went to 7 games against the Spurs.
That the year they won was 05?
No, 04 they won. They beat the Lakers in 5.
But they never won again. They never come close. They didn't make the finals again.
They made it to 7 games against the Spurs the next year.
Did they really?
Yeah.
I thought they made it was only Eastern Conference Finals.
06 they took. Or was it 06 they went? 05 was.
I'm looking at it right now. Go ahead.
06 they went to 7 games against the Spurs because then 07 they went to 7 games against the Cavs in the Eastern Conference Finals. That's when LeBron scored the last 24 points and just went fucking ape shit.
I'm not going to pretend like I know, so I'm going to wait for it fucking.
And then they went. The Cavs got swept by the Spurs in 07.
Yeah.
08 they lost to the Celtics in 6 because Chauncey Billups got hurt in the second round.
And did Rip have the face mask that year?
Rip had the face mask every year.
No, they never made it again after 04.
No, they lost to the Spurs in 7 games in the finals. I'm telling you.
Is their own website wrong?
Dude.
It says Pistons appearances 56, 88, 1990, 2004.
Appearances or wins?
I just put appearances. That's what we're talking about.
No, that can't be right.
Oh, shit. I have no idea because I don't remember like that long ago. I remember Rip and all them and fucking Big Ben Wallace and all them dudes, and we lost. I think we lost them once or twice.
06 was right. That was Miami.
Was it the Eastern Conference Finals, just not the NBA Finals? Obviously, like
no. It says on the Pistons' own website they've made 5 finals appearances. But only 3 NBA
playoffs.
appearances.
San Antonio 04-05. San Antonio over Detroit. That was the year they were the defending champs. Because 03-04 they were the defending champs.
But they never made the finals again after they won.
Yes, they did. They lost to the Spurs in 7. I'm looking at it right now. Finals. San Antonio Spurs over Detroit Pistons 4-3. I know I'm right. I don't even know why I'm letting you question me. The fact that I'm even letting you question me and look this up is
Pistons are questioning you.
Yeah,
well, guess what? Somebody needs to get on the fucking phone and tell the Detroit Pistons they're wrong as fuck.
You got to update
and that Joey
website.
Fats is over here fucking doing your dirty work for you.
I need a drink.
04-05 they lost to the Spurs. 05-06 was the Heat over the Mavs in 6. That was the Tim Donaghy year. 06-07 was San Antonio over Cleveland when Cleveland beat the Spurs in 7. I'm sorry, the Pistons in 7. And then 07-08 was the Celtics and the Lakers. And that was the beginning of the Celtics-Lakers run. I know I'm right, dude. I don't know how the fuck I'm letting anybody tell me that the Spurs, the Pistons didn't go to back-to-back finals in 04 and 05. I know it. I watched it. I remember distinctly getting out of work early and grabbing a fucking 30 rack and a pizza from Papa Gino's and going home to watch Game 7 of the finals. And the Spurs won. And I was pissed.
How is this so wrong?
Because they're not me, dude. If they were me, they would know.
Wikipedia has them making the finals in 04, 05, 06, 07. Making the finals. That's Wikipedia.
04, 07?
04, 05, 06, 07. That's Wikipedia.
Yeah, 06, was it 06? No, 06, 07 was the Spurs and the Cavs.
Fucking shit, man. All right.
06,
You know
07
what?
is the Spurs and the Cavs.
Detroit doesn't even care about their own team. I
05,
shouldn't
06 was 05, 06 was Miami, Dallas. 04, 05 is San Antonio, Detroit. 03, 04 is Detroit over LA.
Fucking hell, man. What in the fact?
God, Jesus, why am I?
But I was on the Detroit Pistons' own website. I said appearances, and they gave me the list, and they just, they don't care. I shouldn't care. They're like, whatever we do, just do whatever you want.
This is why I should be getting paid much more money to do what I do.
Y'all suck balls.
Because somebody would actually lose, because some asshole would make that bet in a bar, and they would look that up and they would lose. It's like that.
I would look it up and be like, yeah, I'm right.
Yeah, it's like when people try to tell me that Sinbad and Shaq weren't in that Shazam movies. Like that Sinbad Shazam movie doesn't exist. And I'm like,
that movie exists.
Bro, we all had it. We all saw it. You can try and tell us it doesn't exist all you want.
Was it a different name of a movie? Was it not called Shazam?
It was Sinbad as a genie. Everybody knows it existed, but whenever you look it up, everybody's like, nah, man, that movie never happened. And we're like, yeah, it did, dude.
Yeah, it did. 100%.
We all know it did. You stop fucking with us now. It's, what do they call it? The Mandela effect?
It is the Mandela effect, yeah.
So, whatever. But anyhow.
Thanks, Destry. He said the Pistons are a mess. That's why it's wrong.
Well, I mean, he's not wrong. It is Detroit, after all. It's not like they're, some beacon of greatly run franchises anymore. They just happen to get lucky with one of the most homegrown, built, cast-off teams that came together, and they had Larry Brown as their head coach and was like, I can work with this.
Yeah.
Delete.
Yeah.
The intern's getting fired. He's like, delete all these championships.
Yeah, right? It's like that kid from ESPN that got fired when he was just like, he was on his way out the door and he knew it, and he was just like at halftime, yo, the Giants are sucking mad dick. Remember when he put that up on ESPN?
Oh, well, the same guy that wrote Jerry Lynn is a chink in the armor.
That happened?
That same guy, too?
That happened
No, a chink in the armor is a real saying.
I know it's a real saying, but they put it because of it was Jeremy Lin.
Which is still pretty funny. I mean, that obviously is a...
It's kind of fucked.
It's kind of funny, though.
Yeah, I mean, of course it's funny, but it's like, damn.
I mean, it's like, all right, you went there. All right, word. No doubt.
Right.
There was just no
Say
reason
less.
to say it. They were just like,
Right.
yes, this is an actual saying, but like, why'd you have to bring it up? The guy's like, he's Chinese.
Yeah.
And they're like, that's not a good excuse, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, you're going to have to try that one again, buddy. Yeah, sorry. You're fired. Anyway, and then that kid's like, all right, well, last assignment's Monday Night Football. Like, well, Giants at halftime down 34-0. Yo, the Giants are sucking mad dick.
That's a real thing. They put that in real time.
On ESPN.
Yeah, really?
That was a real thing that came up.
Is there a video of that?
Well, the Patriots,
You can Google it
Patriots
somewhere. But
fucked up this weekend with Mr. Irrelevant pick.
What'd they put? I saw they fucked
So-
up, but I didn't
They
see
picked
what it
up like a
was.
cornerback.
They picked up a cornerback from like a Division II school. His
Yeah, I
name was
saw it.
Kobe Minor. And the Patriots intern put, and the last pick was a minor. And then it was deleted like 5 minutes later, and
I
everyone
mean,
was
that's
like,
not a fuck up. That's just a play on Kendrick's halftime show.
I know, but
That's actually very relevant.
but it's fucked up because it's supposed to be like that was like a
It's
pedophile line.
Right. But,
Yeah,
And
but
they,
it's,
used, and they used it for their last pick.
but it's a nod to the halftime show of the Super Bowl. So at least that one you can be like, well, I mean, come on, man. It was a funny halftime beef. Like,
No, No,
Be like, wait, are you defending pedophiles?
I mean,
That one I could justify.
No, spin it. Yeah, they're defending pedophiles.
the
That's
Patriots,
disgusting.
the Patriots media team hasn't been great the last few years. They
How
beat,
are we looking score-wise over there?
oh, it's halftime, isn't it?
Yeah,
No.
we're down by 2.
Okay, not
It's
bad.
like 41-39.
That's how most of these games have gone. They've been tight for 3.5 quarters, and the Celtics kind of just put it together, going away.
They didn't play any of the starters until like 2 minutes ago.
Well, that's their usual rest time before the half. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just trying to get some
They-
load management, bro.
So they're doing what JJ Redick refused to do the other night, which is rest his aging starters.
JJ's like, make them play every minute.
Which
Dude,
I mean,
Reeves came out the woodwork though. He almost put him on their back.
nah, Reeves was a liability on Sunday, dude. I think he's going to be very tradable this offseason.
Well, all right. Before we get into other
He
topics,
missed 2 crucial.
I'm
layups,
gonna
bro.
throw off a topic that we didn't talk about, and I apologize in advance for going off topic here. But
It's okay. That's what we do.
Damian Lillard blows out his Achilles. Giannis, almost according to everybody in the know in the NBA world, is 100% guaranteed to be traded. And then Giannis tonight, when they lost, went up to somebody's dad and was like cussing him out to his face, like looking down on it. It was like a father cussing out their child. It was some player's dad, and he was like, "Fuck you, fuck your kid." And I was like, "Oh my god." This all happened like an hour ago.
Maybe
So he's out of there.
Maybe
Oh,
Giannis.
shit.
Maybe Giannis is looking at Dame Lillard and saying, "I don't want that to be me." And by signing an extension with Milwaukee, he's basically doing the same thing that Dollar Dame did with Portland.
When he should have got
got the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
Because it's not like, yes, okay, I get it. Portland can give you more money, but bro, you're never
not
gonna
gonna-
win shit.
Well, he
and
already
now
won one in Milwaukee.
Giannis did, yes,
Yeah.
but Dollar Dame didn't.
He's cussing that little man out.
And that's the thing. Like, I don't know. At some point, like,
Oh,
I
he
get it.
is.
I get you've got to make your money as an athlete. Like, there is a very finite amount of time that you have in a very small window to cash in. Dame Lillard was one of those guys, though, that could probably have foregone the Supermax with Portland,
Right.
gone anywhere else, and made up the difference in the second contract.
Probably and definitely, especially if he went somewhere that was going to win him a championship or get somewhere that he could have gone to, like, really, like, you know, sink his notoriety in history or whatever with the NBA. But
I get you, and I get some of these guys like, oh, I want to write my I want to write my own story in the city that's never had one written before, and I'm like,
fuck that.
yeah, but dude, do you know why there's never been a story written in that city?
Ownership
Because
is
that
ass.
Terrible ownership,
because
bro.
that team sucks, dude.
Why do you
and they
think
never,
you've been the guy for fucking 10 years and no one's been there to help you?
No,
right?
it hasn't been 10
all
years,
and all
has it?
and all you've got is
Well, whatever, I'm just saying.
our only memories of you are hitting a couple of game winners in the first round over Paul George.
And you're staring down the camera.
Yeah, which I mean, don't get me wrong,
Sick fucking moment.
sick moments.
Doing the bye-bye, that was
But-
sick.
Yeah, dude, that was it. Like after that, you got bounced in the second round every year. Like,
Yeah, while you still got gas in the tank, I think Giannis needs to get the fuck out of Milwaukee,
So-
bro. Drew Holiday left. That was his boy. It's
No,
like, dude,
Drew
get the hell
Holiday
out.
didn't leave. Drew Holiday was traded.
Drew
out.
Holiday got
Well,
traded.
but I'm saying, like, he's gone from that championship team.
but Drew
Like, that
Holiday
team
was
is
fortunate.
depleted.
Drew Holiday was fortunate enough to get traded to a team that's still competitive.
Right.
When you get traded, you don't always have that luxury.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Where's Giannis going to go? Because you already said that there's a couple fucking
Yeah,
landing spots
so-
that they won't trade him or they will.
So no. So glad you asked that because the only person I trust with NBA insider news is Bill Simmons. I don't like a lot of the stuff Bill Simmons says, but with basketball stuff, he knows a lot of insider people because he had major connections with Lakers, he had major connections with Celtics people, and those are the two big organizations you want to have connections with because those people know the most
they
people.
run the league.
course.
He knew about everything that happened with Luka the day the Luka trade went down. And he's like, you're not going to believe how this happened. Like, this is unbelievable. And he knew it all day one. He's like, that was the greatest trade I've ever seen in my lifetime. He's like, it was a robbery. And so when this came out, and he said as soon as Dame Lillard got hurt, he said the Bucks' internal office was like, we're getting rid of Giannis this offseason. It's not even Giannis's like question. They just said he's out. Like, we're trading him off. Now, they have no first-round draft picks for the next several years because they've traded them all for picks and Damian
Trying
and
to put
everything else.
people around Giannis to win another one.
So they're automatically going to several teams. They said the teams that are more than likely, what he's already heard. He goes, you already take out the Celtics, take out the Lakers. He goes, and take out the Warriors. He goes, those aren't happening. He goes, what you're going to see is you're going to see Brooklyn, the
Well,
Knicks.
you can't take out the Lakers because they're always a threat.
But they're saying for
It's the
the
Lakers.
draft capital they're going to want back, the Lakers are never going to be able to give it up. That's essentially
I
what
think
they're
the
saying.
Lakers have all their picks now, though.
Why, they're going to trade every draft pick for like 5 years type of thing?
It's the Lakers. I wouldn't be surprised.
So
Fuck them picks.
he said for what he heard, it's Brooklyn, it's the Rockets, it's the Knicks, and it's the Orlando Magic. Those are the top four teams he's hearing. because they have the picks and the young bench
Now-
players that they would trade away.
Okay, so it's going to depend.
It's a
It
mixture.
really depends on. For me, where those teams it depends on the who they give up to get back to get Giannis, right? Because if he goes to Orlando and you team him up with Rancho Nach Dorito over there,
Yep. Blancho Taquero.
yeah, Rancho Taquero, whatever, Paulo.
It's
Banchero.
Pablo something. Pablo Banchero. Something
But
like that.
if you team him up with, you pair him up with him, like, okay, cool. Now you've got two guys that are pretty damn fucking good, but who's still around them? Because we know it's going to take more than just those two to win a championship.
Correct.
All right, so there leave some questions. The Knicks.
Knicks are a good
Oh
shot.
no, you said the Nets.
No, Knicks.
Oh, both. So
Knicks.
the Knicks and the Nets. The Nets, I have no faith in.
0.
He will go there and die. That's where careers go to die.
Yep.
They will do nothing, and they will like it. He'll be hurt every other fucking week, and he'll never play.
Not only that, but fuck them taxes in New York State, bro. I'm going to Texas,
Now,
bro.
It's not his choice.
Now the Knicks, again with Brunson and the team that they have, that could be interesting. But again, who are they giving up to get him? Like if it's draft picks, fine.
They're not giving up Brunson.
You could always
No,
sit
well,
out.
you can't
You
because
just sit out.
then you're moving backwards.
You
Yeah.
know,
You're
you know,
trading a young budding stud for an old aging superstar.
you trade
Older
me-
aging
I
super,
mean,
not
you
old,
trade me
but
to the Rockets, or I'm sitting out wherever you trade me anyway. So fuck
well,
that.
the thing with the Rockets is, outside the Rockets really don't have any top end talent. I mean, they've got some good
you
players.
got Van Vliet, right?
Van Fleet,
yeah.
Van Fleet, but like, yeah, but no one's writing home fucking. Oh yeah, Van Fleet, bro, he's gonna be top 5 of the MVP next year. Like, but I could see with Ime and Giannis and a deep team coached well.
Sure.
I think that would be his best bet to win. But the West is fucking stacked, dude.
That's the problem you run into.
It's always
The West
stacked.
is stacked. So of the 4 teams, you got 1 in the West, 3 in the East. If I'm Milwaukee, I'd rather get him out of the East because I don't want to have to deal with him like down the road, God
all
forbid.
the time, bro. Yeah.
But at the same time, if I'm Milwaukee and I'm trading away Giannis, I'm probably not anticipating being very good for another 2 or 3 years, 4 years anyway, because even though we're going to get all these picks back, hypothetically, those guys are going to take time to develop, grow, and gel.
And you're gonna want some decent shit for Giannis. I mean, you're getting rid of your best.
Right.
Fucking
Well,
So-
it's also going to be a salary dump too.
But that being said, if he goes to the West, I think the Rockets, if they're going to stay with Ime, and I don't see why they wouldn't, he's done a ridiculously, insanely good job. That's a team, but again, who are they going to give up? Like, it's going to be that's going to be a lot of picks because I don't know that they have a shit ton of players anybody would want. In that, and for a player of that magnitude,
It's probably going to be a combination, though. It's probably going to be a
it's
plethora
going
of
to
picks,
have to be a big
and
combination.
then like a bunch of like decent depth, like
But see,
potential
like
good talent.
I could see like the Lakers putting together a package of like a bunch of firsts, however many firsts, Austin Reeves and Dalton Connect, and somebody else, Rui, and be like, yeah, we'll take Giannis.
Yeah, but then why would all right now if I'm playing devil's advocate, why would I want the Lakers first round picks? Because the Lakers are going to pick the end of the round and not going to be lottery.
I get it.
That's the only thing.
Trust me, I get it. But it depends. Again, that's why it's so dependent on who does Milwaukee like. Does Milwaukee have a boner for Rui and Austin Reeves? I mean, I don't know why they would, but if they say they did, we didn't know that the Mavs had such a boner for Anthony Davis, and look how that worked out. Now, I don't honestly think Giannis would make much sense for the Lakers. I think it would make more sense if LeBron wasn't there. But Giannis, Luka, LeBron, does that really add up? Is that mathing for anybody? I mean, it sounds great in theory.
On paper, it sounds great, but
Yeah.
there's only one ball. That theory.
Well, and not only
How
that,
many
but
guys,
like Giannis and LeBron's games are kind of similar at this point.
yeah,
like
big trucking dudes.
yeah, like they're just gonna play bully ball. Well, Giannis will just play bully ball. Maybe LeBron gets to, finally play his finesse game that he's been trying to develop for the last 10 years.
And Luka can play the I don't want to play defense game.
Yeah, because then he's got 2 guys that
I
actually
just want
can.
to get back and yeah.
But no, I don't think it makes sense. I don't think that would. Listen, I'm just hypothetically spitballing because you can never rule the Lakers out of any of these big trade talks, even despite what anybody might say.
Cool.
Because every single time we think the Lakers aren't going to do anything, like, oh, what are the Lakers going to do? They're going to get some fucking shit bum at the trade deadline. Oh yeah, we got some guy, Luka. You ever heard of him?
The Lakers have always dabbled around Atlanta trying to get what's his face,
Trae Young.
That's a guy they've
Listen,
always tried pulling.
If they pulled Ice Trae this
That'd be
year,
a
I'd be
crazy
pretty.
trade.
I'd be pretty stoked on that. But they need a big at this point. Like they need big, and they need depth, and that's what's cost them this postseason is depth and lack of a big. So
Right.
I don't think Trey Young really makes a lot of sense unless they just wait till he's a free agent and sign him. But I don't think they're trading for him at any point anytime soon. But then again, you just never know. It's the NBA offseason. It's going to be wild. But to your point, back to the original point of the Giannis thing, Giannis moving is going to be seismic because that's going to alter the East entirely.
Yeah, I mean, I'll see where he goes.
That's another team. You're just tagging another team in the East.
Especially if he stays in the East. If he leaves the East, okay, it's like whatever. The East is just now we're minus Milwaukee, which, let's be honest, was anybody really like sitting there going, oh, fuck.
So it's Boston.
Milwaukee.
So it's Boston.
No.
It's going to be Boston, Orlando, Cleveland,
Knicks.
fucking Knicks. Hopefully Knicks.
Well, the Knicks will be good even with or without Giannis because they're still going to be good.
But who the fuck else is there in the East, really?
But the Knicks are like one of those teams. I don't know. The Knicks are such a
The Knicks
fucking-
shoot themselves in the foot a lot.
all the time, dude. They piss me off. I think I said this to somebody the other day, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm like the Knicks are cool. Knicks are great. Like they'll be up by 15, and you'll think they're cruising, and then they'll figure out a way to fumble it away and fuck it up.
You go to the bathroom, you go to the kitchen and grab something, you come back, they're down two. You're like, what the fuck?
Like I literally just went to take a piss. What the hell happened here? It's so that'll be pretty interesting to watch. But again, we're not even done with these playoffs yet. That was just kind of a sidebar because Dame Lillard got hurt. So I guess this is the end. Dame Lillard rupturing his Achilles.
35
years old.
and
He's-
blood clots.
He's definitely missing all of next year.
That's scary right there.
It might be a career ender, because you figure he'll be 36 by the time he's ready to come back.
He will come back. He'll be a bench guy
He'll-
because he has his contract through I think 2 more years.
But at the same time, how effective is he going to be? What's he going to do?
He's not going to turn down the money.
You know?
If he retires, I'll be stunned. He's not going to
No,
turn down
I don't think
money.
he's going to retire. But so the Milwaukee experiment is over.
Oh yeah.
Like this whole Giannis winning, he got his one, and that's all they're going to get, which is
I kind of feel bad for
kind
Dame.
of sad because you thought Giannis would be worth 2 or 3 titles, or you hoped he would be anyway.
Well, yeah, he should have been.
Yeah,
I
what
mean,
the fuck?
geez, dude, we're going on what? Like this is what year 12, 13 of Giannis too, like,
Yeah.
He's like the juggernaut.
or is it 11? I think it was like 20. Was he 2014 or 2013?
Dude, he's been loyal enough to that franchise for so long, bro.
But again, you know what? Let this be a lesson
But
to you.
it's-
Don't sign extensions with shit franchises.
Yep.
They don't want to win.
They're dumping him, not the other way around. He might say he wants to stay, and they're gonna be like, "Well, that's nice. Well, you're out of here."
Yeah, but they're doing him a huge favor.
They are doing him a favor.
They're doing him a tremendous favor. So
Yeah.
whether he realizes it or not, he's going to have a better chance. Especially if he goes somewhere like Houston, which seems to have its fucking head on straight in terms
getting
of
shit
like
done.
building a team, and like they've got a good GM, a good head coach. Now they're just building the roster, and like to be the 2 seed
Yeah.
with the roster they have, that's 100% on Ime.
Right,
Like, and we
you
and
said,
we know
their
that.
two best players are Van Vliet and Dylan Brooks.
Had the Celtics not won last year,
Oh, a whole different conversation.
the whole conversation in Boston would be like, why did they fire Ime? Why did they fire Ime? Why did they? Especially if you're going to sell the team in 2 years. Why did you fire him?
Yeah, we'd be sitting here like, what the fuck did we do?
Like, who cares if he banged your wife? You were going to sell the team anyway. Deal with it later.
Right?
we still don't know the whole story. What happened?
I know.
Or daughter or whatever the hell it was.
I want to know so bad.
Grandmother.
Because to get fired from a head coaching gig,
Like
that was some pretty forbidden ink you had to
During the
dip your
season.
pen in, bro.
Yeah, they were like, you need to get the fuck out now.
Yeah, like you
wasn't
need
it
to
like
go.
wasn't it like 10 games in and they're like you're gone?
I don't remember.
I think it was, or it was like really close to the start of the season.
It was like midway, 15 games.
I mean, now that I know
20.
we give Joe Mazzulla a lot of shit, but at least they had somebody waiting in the wings that was somewhat capable.
Dude, I had no hopes for Joe Mazzulla.
Yeah, you hated him.
I was like, why the
No, I
guy?
hated him, but just didn't believe in him.
No,
well,
exactly.
early on he was terrible because his first year they lost. That was when they blew the 3-0 lead to, or they went down 3-0 to Miami, right? Was that Meat Joe's first year? Yeah, because it wasn't Ime.
Oh,
Yes.
we lost first round.
Yes.
No, Eastern
no, it
Conference
wasn't
Finals.
first round. It was East Conference.
And then they
Finals.
came back and
Oh.
forced Game 7.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's another thing I hate about fucking Jason Tatum when he was throwing up the 5-1 in that
Yep,
game
yep,
in the
yep,
second
yep.
round against Philly or the Knicks?
Oh, the
No, it was
51
Atlanta,
point-
wasn't it?
51-point game, even
Yeah,
though
he
they
scored a
lost.
No, it was Philadelphia. Right, it was Philadelphia.
He's throwing up the 5-1. Like, dude, like, what do you think? You're the first person to ever score 51 in a playoff game? Like, fuck out of here, dude. Anyway, speaking of just things that make me fucking hate Jason Tatum.
But no, Joe makes me laugh. Joe be like, "Oh, did you talk to Jalen Brown about his injury?" Yeah, we talk every day. What did he say? He goes, he mumbles, I mumble,
Like,
and they're like, and he's like, we just continue on.
Like, my dad gets so mad at me when we talk about the Celtics. My dad always wants to talk about the Celtics as, like, He's all back into basketball. Like he doesn't love the game now like he did back in the 80s.
Me and Dad do the shit about the Celtics.
But he's like,
is he
he'll
still
talk
love
to me. He'll
Harden?
be like, "Hey, did you watch Celtic City on HBO Max?" I'm like, "Yeah, I watched the Larry Bird episodes because those were cool." And this and that. Oh, you didn't watch like up to like the then they go into like D Brown and this and that, and then the Paul Pierce stuff and the 08 time. I'm like, yeah, I fucking hate those teams. Why the hell would I watch those? He's like,
which is weird because even Dad's not a Paul Pierce fan.
Because it's interesting, it's history, and it's just. I'm like, yeah, fuck that shit, dude. Like I lived that. It was fucking miserable. Why do I want to relive that?
It irks
He's like,
me.
because it's good, and I'm like, yeah, for you.
Miserable, bro. We lost. We won one year. You won the next year.
2.
It irks me.
We won the next 2 after that.
It
Right.
irks me. Your dad is a big James Harden fan. Nothing makes me sicker to my stomach.
I love it because
He
it's
does-
just so like
He does. He also
uncharacteristic.
doesn't like Jason Tatum either. So he's not a Jason
or
Tatum
Paul
guy.
Pierce.
But the fact that he likes James Harden, who you could arguably say is the same level as both of those guys with the way he acts, and he's just like, I love him.
I
It's
don't know
like, why?
Yeah, it's very uncharacteristic.
He's a huge
Like,
piece of
yeah.
shit.
Because I don't think my dad knew, like, didn't know. He doesn't know James Harden like we know James Harden.
Right.
Chicken finger strip club.
You know what I
eating.
mean? He only sees James Harden like maybe twice a year when they're on national TV, and he happens
Right.
to be in front of his TV
And he
watching
just
the game.
likes the way he plays and shit.
Yeah.
Probably like
But like he
style,
watches, my dad
whatever.
watches like every Celtics game,
My
like
dad's been watching basketball for fucking
ever.
60 years. I mean, since he was probably
I mean,
10.
I grew up watching the '80s Celtics like films. Like,
VHS tapes.
You're like, is this live? He's like, no.
Yeah, they were like, he was like, nah, man, this was like 20 years ago. We were like,
what do you mean 20? It was like 4.
oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, from when we started watching.
I'm watching.
It was like,
I'm
this was
watching
like 5 years
yeah.
ago.
I'm watching like the '86 finals against the Rockets, and like we were still living on Maitland Street at that
yeah,
point.
yeah. It's like 1992, and like Mom's upstairs with Keith. And like,
87.
yeah, and we're
88.
watching the 87.
I was watching it like 87, 88. My dad had it. He like just taped it 2 years ago. I had it on VHS, and I'm watching it. Like instead of watching Sesame Street, my dad would sit me down in front of the TV, eating my breakfast when I was little. And I just remember like sitting on Maitland Street. He was just a baby, because that's when he
I
was born.
way too young for that one. Yeah.
And like it was like
No, you don't say.
Yeah, because he was born in '87. It was like '87, '88 because we moved to Terry Drive in '88, and we would sit. And I remember just sitting there in that living room in that house, watching old school Celtics shit. And like instead of Sesame Street, my dad would just be like, "All right, here's the '84 finals. Here's the '86 Eastern Conference finals. Here's the '86
Even
finals."
when we moved to Terry Drive, the VHS. Tapes
Oh, the
followed.
VHSs went, and then we
They
would
followed.
downstairs in the playroom, in the big room downstairs, dude. We would put that sports tape on, and watch it on loop for hours.
Yep.
The same shit, dude. Like the Dire Straits video, the whole 9. Like
Yep.
there was a lot of cool shit on that tape. But my dad would just tape like the local sports, like news, the local news sports segments, like every night. So you would just get all because they didn't have ESPN wasn't a thing yet.
Oh yeah, right.
So he would just go in like every news station he would record because they would show like slightly different highlights on each one.
Each one.
And
That's
then
the only
like
way you had a chance.
and then there was like then all of a sudden like VHSs were a thing. We started getting like the classic games in the shootout in Atlanta in New Orleans with Atlanta.
Yep.
With Neek and Bird and like we watched all that shit growing
Different
up
game, yeah.
thousands of times, dude, for hours. So that's why like everybody asks me, I'm like, they're like, who's the greatest basketball player of all time? I'm like, I don't even know why it's a discussion. It's Larry Bird. You can have your Magic Johnsons, your Michael Jordans, your fucking LeBron Jameses. Give me Larry fucking 11 out of 10
You
times.
can even take your Kobe. I'm taking Larry.
Dude, I just say I'll take Larry over anybody.
Everybody.
Anybody.
There's Larry, and then we start the discussion.
Well, no, I mean Larry's not like I don't put Larry like he's not head and shoulders. Like if you want to say Michael, I'm gonna be like, all right, that's fair. You want to say Magic, all right, that's fair. Magic had 5 to Bird's 3.
I put Larry on a pedestal over here,
But-
and then we talk about all the rest.
To me, when I watch him and I just look and who passes the eye test, like yeah, Magic is probably the closest thing. Magic and Michael probably the two closest. And then I would put like Kobe like one rung, like slightly like a half a rung below them.
Kobe's the very next.
Because Kobe's basically Michael just reincarnated. So if you put Michael 1, you got to put Kobe kind of 2.
His little brother.
Yeah. So like I don't know. It's a fun discussion, but I always put Bird number 1 because the shit he did was just insane, and the amount of shit talking. Like I'm gonna fuck around and go play left-handed tonight,
Dropped 41 points.
and then
whatever it was.
and then like shit, we're down 10 in the fourth quarter. I was like, all right, I'll play righty, and they end up winning by 15. Like you don't have to be in down 10. You're like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. Like and everything too. The 3-point shootout, throwing the finger in the air, not taking the warm-up suit off, like. All that little shit that he did that just like was just dagger after dagger mentally.
Balling as fuck.
It was just, dude, it was so ill. He was so ill.
His highlight reel was just insane.
And the way he could pass the ball, see the whole court. Like, the only guy I've ever seen in the modern era do it that way is Joker. Joker's the closest thing to Bird that I've seen since Bird.
And he makes it like the effortlessness of it is what you're looking for.
I call them like deflections.
Yeah, he doesn't even touch the ball. He's running just like volleyball, spikes it towards somebody else.
Yeah, somebody passes it and he just deflects it to the next guy, and it just bang, perfect setup, 3-ball, bang. You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. It's not even, or it's just like grab it and backwards or over here. It's those quick give and go type shits.
It was, and he was the best. So Bird to me is still the best.
To me too.
Then it's Magic, Jordan, Kobe, like, and then from there it's like, all right, like, like people always, who do you like? I don't know, like
Curry, Durant, and all the new age guys, whatever you want to put them in there.
Curry to me is top 10. Curry's the greatest.
No, I'm saying, like, you can throw him in there.
Curry's the greatest shooter
guys
of all time. But I don't know, like how are you going to leave out like a Tim Duncan? You know what I mean? How are you going to leave out a Shaq? How are you going to leave out Kareem?
They all have their place, but it all depends on what statistic is most important to you. And what's most important to everybody, I guess.
All right.
Argue the most important statistic, maybe average the statistics and which one's important.
Right, but if you're going on stats and rings, LeBron is the best because he's got
Robert Horry is because he's got
Bron's got four with 3 different teams,
which is more impressive.
And he owns every statistical, every stat he's going to own by the time he's done.
Facts,
he's already the all-time leading scorer.
I mean, facts. LeBron James could arguably be the. Yeah, if you told me LeBron James is the greatest basketball player to ever live, I'd probably be like,
if you went back to 2003, when LeBron James got drafted, and you were like, this guy is going to be the all-time leading scorer in NBA history, you'd be like, okay, I can see that. It wouldn't even be like a thought. You'd be like, yeah, all right, well, that's the king for you. But if you told me he was only going to have 4 titles and it was going to be, he was going to have to go to Miami and, like, recruit these guys, and the way it was portrayed, even though it was no different than any other team's ever done it ever. Like, the Celtics did it 4 years before that, and nobody batted an eye.
Yeah, no shit was always
but, like, whatever. The Celtics do it, and everybody's like, oh, it was because Trader Danny did it. And it's like, yeah, but the whole thing was...
Oh, but LeBron shouldn't have needed those guys, bro.
Right.
Like, LeBron's supposed to be LeBron, right? Well, it's like, it's okay for Paul Pierce and all these guys to need each other, but LeBron's going to do it on his own. Gotcha.
Because LeBron has, for whether you want to admit
it... So now we don't hold him to the same standard.
Right, whether you want to admit it or not, LeBron has been held to a higher standard than everybody else.
Bro. That's what I'm saying, bro.
He has been held to a higher standard.
And for the most part, has delivered on that higher standard almost end to end.
He did bring a title to Cleveland, something nobody thought possible.
He's brought titles to almost every fucking franchise. Sorry, he's brought titles to every franchise he's played on.
Mm-hmm.
All 3 of them.
Yep.
Whether, whatever he went back to Cleveland, all that, we all know, whatever, it doesn't matter. He still brought it once there. It doesn't matter.
Cleveland.
Didn't win it like twice with them, but doesn't matter. And he's got all the fucking records. And I would even go as far as to say is like, what's his vertical, his bench, his physical statistics as well as, like, you know what I mean? Like, the dude's an absolute physical monster as well as, like, the greatest dude. That's why you see LeBron's longevity and the way that his level is played for so long. You see how he's played for for so long at such a high level, unlike these other guys who get hurt so often so quick. You know what I mean? Like, this dude's just built different, man. It's just,
he was built different. I mean, he's only had, really 2 years where he's been hurt in his career.
Right, you can say like Durant's been hurt
both
a
were in
fucking
LA.
million times, dude. Like, the only other guy that I would say is like, no, I wouldn't say that.
What?
No, scratch that idea. It's a completely different thought. But anyway, I don't know. I just think that LeBron's.
It's a new era too. Like, load management 25 years ago was like laughed at.
Right.
It was like, oh, you can't play tonight. Why, are you dying? No, then get the fuck out there and play. But
right.
that was a different mindset though. This era is just different, where they're like, it started with like, Pop and his load management shit, which I honestly feel like was just a thing that he did to fuck the fans, because I feel like he hates like poor people. Like, I feel like Pop is one of those people, like, he looks down on people.
Wasn't he the dude that stopped something to yell at fans?
Yeah, they were booing Kawhi when he came back to the Spurs, and he grabbed the scorer's microphone and was like, knock it off. We don't do that here. It's like, fuck you, dude. I paid for a fucking ticket.
Right.
I'm paying your salary. I'm gonna boo whoever the fuck I want to boo.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
You're gonna go lose the whole fan
That's
base.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Is like I think Pop hates fans. Like,
why couldn't they boo? You are right. That did happen. Why couldn't they boo Kawhi for leaving? That doesn't make any sense.
Because Pop didn't like it. Pop was the only one that was upset about it, but
when Kawhi, that was his return game,
but
right?
But he's such a fucking arrogant asshole anyway. You know when he gets up on his post game pressers, and he gets up there and starts waxing poetic about whatever political thing he wants to talk about today, and it's like, dude, shut the fuck up, bro.
Steve Kerr does that.
Steve Kerr, I can actually see because like his dad was killed, so like it's a soft spot for him. Like you know what I mean? It's close to him. Pop is just up there like. Racism is bad, and Republicans, and gun violence, and why are we talking about basketball when people are getting shot in schools? It's like, well, last I checked, you're a basketball coach in the NBA, and we're all basketball media people asking you questions about basketball, which is what we get paid to.
The game just ended 5 minutes ago.
If you want to talk about whatever happened in the whatever most recent tragic event. CNN, I'm sure, will have you on whenever you want. You're more than welcome to go on with Don Lemon.
I'm sure they would love your opinion.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to love you. You're one of them. But he's just such a fucking ass. And I feel like the load management thing, I almost feel like it was like he did it just to fuck people. Like, just to fuck with them. Like, oh, you're paying all this money to come see star players? Well, guess who's not playing tonight?
Yep. Remember when we went to the Celtics?
Yep.
We wanted to see Kyrie play, and guess who wasn't fucking playing that night? And I'm like, all right, it was cool. Like, fucking Ben Simmons was somehow
Remember when you went to see the Lakers and Anthony Davis and LeBron both sat out?
Yep. And I was just sitting there watching them both, and I'm like, wow, cool.
Could you imagine? That'd be like Magic and Kareem not playing against the Bird Celtics back in the day.
Yeah.
Like that's how that's so ridiculous to me. Like you can't pick of all the nights you pick to take your night off. That's the game, really. And that's why I hate this new era because none of that shit means anything to them.
We had to
Tradition,
stretch for those Lakers
history,
tickets too.
All that shit doesn't mean anything to these modern players, dude. And that's why, like, people want to put LeBron up there as the GOAT. Like, I'm like, all right, but he's kind of the last person from this generation that I'm willing to entertain in that discussion.
Right.
And it's only because he has the titles, he has the numbers, he's been doing it for 20 years. Like, people want to say, like, oh, Curry's top 5. Fuck out of here. I don't even want to hear about Curry. Don't even talk to me about Kevin Durant. I don't want to hear about James Harden or Russell Westbrook.
I don't hear anybody talk about Durant.
Out of there. Not anymore.
Although Russell Westbrook is
don't
kind
hear
of
it.
fucking crazy because how many triple-doubles he did. Like,
Dude,
that's just insane.
Yeah, but
it was
when
like a whole season.
But
no,
when you're,
I'm sorry.
But when you're basically
3 seasons?
But when you're basically he averaged a triple-double one season.
No, but the amount over the time that he had
Oh,
was
he had like 300-something triple-doubles in like 5 years or something like that.
No, but I think he did one over. It was like a season and
Why
a
don't
half.
you just look it up?
Because
Why you mean like just look it up?
Because it'll just take you too
get
long.
your fancy little laptop over here that you sit in front of the whole show, but all you're doing is watching fucking jack-off Celtics games.
Remember when Russell Westbrook had an entire family ejected because he thought he heard them call him a racist name?
Yep.
And the guy was like, yo, F you, nah, I am going to call you a racist name because I didn't say shit.
But no, I don't want to hear, like, yeah, cool, he had a bunch of triple-doubles, but when you're basically Angel Reese in it every night and just grabbing your own misses, I don't really fucking want to hear it.
Angel Reese, by the way, not paid enough.
Bang!
I'm just trying to see the stats here.
Dude, those videos with that guy where he just does the Angel Reese lowlights are fucking gold.
He's got 203 triple-doubles.
203.
That's fucking crazy.
I don't know what noise it is. It sounds like
he did 42 in a single season.
It sounds like an explosion. Like when you,
that was when he averaged the triple-double.
Most triple-doubles in a single season was 42 in the 2016 season. He had most consecutive games was 11.
Right, that was the year he averaged the triple-double. I think he was the only person. It was Oscar Robinson was the only other person to do it.
Right, my point was he has like
203,
seasons.
not 302.
My apologies.
I said 300. I had it backwards.
Right. What my point was that he has about 3 seasons worth of triple doubles.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I meant. That's what my point was.
Is he even still playing?
203. Like how many?
Is he even still playing?
Well, he's 40 games short. There'll be 246 games.
Yeah, so he's 40.
3 seasons.
So like two and change seasons.
Yeah, listen. Don't get me wrong.
Fucking crazy.
It's insane what he did statistically, but Well, didn't they miss the playoffs in 2016?
Yes. It was only him.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, it's just crazy.
Because he was still on the Thunder at that point.
Yeah, and he was like screaming out, "I'm gonna fuck you up," and it's like they were losing. It's like, dude, yeah, you were killing it by yourself.
Wow, he also had a 20-20-20 triple-double.
That makes sense.
Like, he also, like, you know what I mean? Obviously.
One of the 20s was steals. He had 20 steals.
20 points, 20 rebounds, 20 assists.
I'm joking.
Oh, imagine that.
20 steals.
What? I mean,
He's just cussing dudes out. Give me that fucking ball.
He's just flying all around the court, not playing no position. He's like, what the fuck?
Yo, his team is losing.
Coach is like, get off the court. He's like, no.
His team is losing 88-15.
Yeah, they get smoked. He's like, fuck, oh well.
Give me that ball.
It's still sick, bro. It's still fucking sick.
Celtics
but
up now.
No, I just thought Russell Westbrook was absolutely like, that's mind-boggling to be that well-rounded, that good, that consistent, that many, 203, and I think was like in a span of him playing for just the Thunder, like those couple of years. Like, that maybe only happened.
Yeah, that was after Harden left. Harden and KD left.
Yeah, he hadn't really had many triple doubles on whatever team. Didn't he go to the Rockets or did he go?
Yeah,
OKC. He got moved around a lot after.
Yeah, he went around to a couple
Lakers,
teams, like,
Rockets. Wasn't he on the Nets?
Nets, maybe. Yeah, Nets.
And then he's on. Wasn't he on Philadelphia too?
The 76ers?
Wasn't he?
I don't know.
He's been on a few teams since leaving Oklahoma City.
Yeah, I want to see which.
He's ass now, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
What year was that he?
Oh, the Nuggets.
Sure
he's on the Nuggets right now.
Yeah.
What a free riding bastard!
I knew he was on a decent team
what
too. I didn't want to say
piece of
nothing because I
shit.
forgot. Division titles, that was pretty good.
I even asked. I was like, "He's even still playing?" I thought his team was just done. He was out of it. No, he's on the fucking Nuggets.
So Rockets, Wizards, Lakers, Clippers, Nuggets. After the Thunder.
Rockets
6 and 7,
He's
16,
on the
17.
Wizards.
No,
So
he did play for the Wizards
16, 17, they did make the playoffs that year.
at one point.
No, they did. They made the playoffs that year.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying he played for the Wizards for 1 year, 20 and 21. That's it.
Oh, sorry.
How bad was he on the Wizards? I don't remember that time frame.
There was only one.
That was
year.
Bizarro
where's
World.
the postseason.
And then 2 years on the Lakers.
I'm just curious now. I'm just being.
Dude, the Lakers time was like
18
like
years he's been in the fucking league.
the
47
Lakers.
and
The Lakers
35
shit was
that
some of
year.
the worst playing of his career.
Yeah, he was terrible.
He was-
Didn't
dude,
LeBron tell him to get the fuck out of here?
They named him fucking Westbrook.
Westbrook, and he got
And he
pissed.
lost his
I
mind.
mean, he wanted to fight that fan. He was like, "Don't fucking call me that." Which I get it. Be like, "Yo, you completely forgot this dude was fucking."
Yeah, they lost to the
serious.
Rockets in that year 4-1. They lost in 5. Was that Harden's first? Yeah, that was Harden's first. I think it was Harden's first or second year. But anyway, it doesn't matter.
If the Denver Nuggets win the title, does Westbrook take the trophy and hold it over his head as if he was the one that did the whole thing? He's like, yeah.
I mean, he's definitely
screaming.
gonna have his moment with the trophy for sure.
He's like, I
Yeah.
can't believe I finally.
I
did it.
hope he takes it in like
Does
like
like Kobe pose?
in the bathroom, like just curls up with it like by
The
himself.
Kobe pose.
Yeah.
Like the
He-
Kyle Kuzma
But someone
fake?
puts the
Yeah.
shower on, so it's just drizzling over him like it's raining.
Yeah. Or he just does what Tatum did and just like replicates everything Tatum did last year.
Oh, it'd be great.
He takes out his phone. He texts Tatum. That would be funny.
Text
Instead
Tatum.
of texting Kobe, he
Yo,
texts
yo,
Tatum.
boss, you got me tonight. He's like, I'm playing you. What are you talking
Tatum's
about?
like, I'm in the other room, asshole.
Yeah.
And then you see the box go, and it's just Tatum folds it to Kobe.
Right.
Oh.
Yo, Kobe, I know Westbrook was your dog.
Yeah.
Should I throw this for him?
Yeah.
What would you do, Kobe?
Yeah. Speak to me,
bro.
Yeah.
The poor person that has his number. Stop texting this
I know.
number.
God damn it.
It's like, God damn it, Tatum, is this you again? It's like
Right.
this guy's got Jason Tatum's number. It's like, oh man, maybe we could prank call him like they did Shador Sanders.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good segue now.
Yeah, but all right. So yeah, on to the NFL draft because we do have a little bit to cover there. We want to recap. Obviously, we're going to start with the Shador Sanders thing because this was without a doubt
To be fair,
one of the funniest things I think we've ever seen in the draft.
I did say Shador Sanders was ass, and I said he's not a good quarterback.
All right. So
Am I the only one that likes Shedeur Sanders here?
Probably. You
As
also
a
like,
player?
You also like Anthony Richardson, which was fucking.
Yeah,
blasphemy.
I didn't like him as a player. The only people that I've heard say they like Shedeur Sanders as a player was like the DNVR media guys that were like,
Dude, he's a backup.
well, listen,
I'm not saying that he's going to be a great quarterback. I'm just saying that, like,
I don't think he's going to be a quarterback in this league. Period.
Wait. All right.
it looks like he's going to stick up his ass when he runs. I'm not going to lie. He almost looks like Vince Young. No.
No, Vince Young could move.
Yeah.
All right.
I was going to say, no, Vince Young could kind of run. I'm like, who's
Just
the guy
ask
you
Clay
thought-
Matthews.
I'm like, who's the guy you thought he was mobile but really wasn't?
Wait,
And I'm like,
wait. Let me jump in. So you know the Browns have 6 quarterbacks right now,
Yes,
right?
yes. They got Kenny Pickett,
Kenny
Dude,
Pickett,
6.
Deshaun
Joe
Wat-
Flacco.
Joe Flacco, Deshaun Watson.
It is going to be
Shedeur
an
Sanders.
all-out brawl.
Who?
Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, Shedeur Sanders.
And then two more,
And
like-
Gabriel.
From the
Oregon,
Ducks.
from Oregon. Jesus Christ.
Was it,
Dylan Gabriel.
Dylan Gabriel.
And then someone else. They
No, that's it. It's
undrafted.
five. It's
An
five.
undrafted free agent. They just signed him.
Really?
They picked up a quarterback. Undrafted free agent.
Fuck, I just saw
Jesus
it.
Christ.
They might confirm to wide receiver, but right now it's 6 on the roster. But
Way
someone
to
made
go, Browns, and
No,
like
but-
fight.
no, but someone made a meme. You ever see the church meme? It's like there's a spy sitting in a church pew, and there's a gun pointing to him. And there's a gun
Yeah,
behind
yeah.
that guy, and there's a sniper from the back. And someone made a meme of like should fucking Deshaun Watson behind the gate saying, "Let me in." He's just outside. No one's just letting him in.
No one's letting him play.
Yep.
So, obviously, the first round, we're watching the first round. We're watching the shit tick by. Once it got past Cleveland, and they didn't take Sanders, once Cleveland traded out of that
I
pick,
thought Oakland was the next available spot.
I
Oakland,
did not
that's
think
it.
I didn't think he was going to Oakland because I knew Oakland was locked in on Genty, and
I didn't know that.
I'll just say this about that pick. Great player, hate the pick for the Raiders. This is why bad teams stay bad.
I mean, they have
Because
no quarterback.
They have no quarterback. They have no offensive line. They have holes all over that defense.
But that man
they
can
have no
run.
skill. They have no skill position players except the tight end. But like, so cool. You got a running back and a tight end. Now what? Like, that's not two things you build a team around. This is why the Raiders stay sucking. Genty's a great player. He's a horrible fit for the Raiders.
How many times have we seen it where teams expect a great running back to run great behind a shit line, and it just doesn't fucking work?
Wait, well,
And not for nothing, but it's not like Genty really excelled against top-tier competition this year. So while he did have a lot of yards after contact, I think he actually might have even had the NCAA record for yards after contact. And I get it; he's tough to bring down, which is why I think he'll be okay.
What was that against Georgia? Did
with
they
the-
play
with the
them? No?
Raiders?
Okay.
But this is the NFL, dude.
Yeah.
Like, if you thought, like, you know, he had a bad game, like, what was it? He had, who did they play? Was it Ohio State they played? Or is it Georgia? in the playoff?
no, they didn't even play that
No,
great
they
of a
played
team.
Penn State.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Yes,
Penn State.
and Penn State
And he went for
snuffed
like,
them.
and he went
On
for
New
like
Year's.
101 yards and had 2
They
fumbles.
snuffed him.
And they
Yeah.
snuffed him out.
He
All
bit.
right. And now everybody was like, oh, he had a bad game. He had a bad game. Listen, bro, if you carry the ball 30 times for 100 yards in an NFL game, it's not a great game. You're not breaking any home runs, but that's probably something you can work with. But I gotta tell you, if you only gained 101 yards, if you think that's a bad game in college, wait till you get to the pros, dude.
Dude,
Right.
I gotta fucking
And you
be honest
have,
with you.
And you have negative 5 yards.
Like that shit is that 100-yard game is going to be like they're going to give you 15 carries for 12 yards, and they're going to be like, all right, we can't do this anymore.
Well,
Yep, you're done.
I obviously I watch a bunch of draft shit, and they talked to, I'm not sure if it was not the GM of the Raiders, but it was like a talent pro scout of the Raiders, and they said, you took Genty high, and the soft-spoken female reporter asking him like, how did it come to this pick? What was the talk like in the room? Blah blah blah. And it gets to this guy, and he's like, we were all excited. We were hoping he would fall to us. And it's like, dude, you knew he was gonna fucking be there. Like once Jacksonville traded up, you knew Jacksonville wasn't taking him at 2.
No,
So you knew he was gonna be there.
they weren't
And-
trading up to 2 for a running back.
but the funniest thing is,
Travis Hunter's still available.
but she was asking like, how do you think he's going to translate? And he gave a floor and a ceiling of how he thinks this player is going to be. And the players he used, I was like, I don't think this guy understands how floor and ceiling works. He said the floor was LaDainian Tomlinson, and the ceiling was Earl Campbell. I'm like, so his floor is Hall of Fame, his ceiling is Hall of Fame. So he's a Hall of Fame
Yeah,
player.
So at minimum, he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, well,
And listen,
high expectations
on
need to say
the
the
right
least.
team, sure, I could see that. if Genty had slipped, right, and say he'd gotten into like the late teens, early 20s, somewhere in there. Say he ends up in Denver, where they have one of the best offensive lines in the league. He ends up in Pittsburgh or Green Bay or I don't know, Kansas City. You know what I mean? Like, it would have taken him to slip that far for him to end up in a position where I really think he could have excelled as a pro. Now, It's not to say that he won't be good. I think he'll be serviceable. I could see 800 to 1,000 yards out of him, maybe combined with as receiving as well.
Right.
5, 6, 7 touchdowns, somewhere in there, maybe. Because the Raiders are going to luck out and find themselves in the red zone at some point. I mean, they do have Geno Smith and Pete Carroll, so they're going to be able to move the ball a little bit.
Well, I was going to say, who else do they fucking have but to give it to this kid anyway?
But other than that, dude, like, I just think it's a terrible pick. The Raiders have so many holes.
Like a Renfro? No,
They had so many holes across that roster, and they chose to fill one of the least important holes.
Renfro's been gone for a few years.
4 years now.
He just signed a contract 2 days ago with the Panthers.
I was like, wait, I'm like, no,
so
he's gone.
That's what I wanted to say about that. But once Sanders slipped, once the Raiders didn't take him, the Jets weren't taking him, and he started to slip, you knew it was. And I think before the draft, the show 2 weeks ago, I said, San Francisco, watch out for San Francisco, watch out for Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. Once those two teams passed on him, I was like, oh no.
Pittsburgh wasn't even
I was like,
him.
he's not out of like the first round. Like, this is going to be a 3rd or 4th round pick. Now, I didn't think he would get this far.
I thought 3rd round for sure.
But I was thinking 3rd round is probably when he's going to go.
Day 2. I thought positively
day 2 pick.
Round 5.
So let's talk about why he slipped. Because Sean, you and I have been saying this pretty much all along.
Yep.
We were not in love with Shedeur Sanders. We didn't understand the hype.
No.
I think somebody said it to me last year, and they're like, well, Sanders is going to be, he's going to be a top 5 pick. And I was like, you think so? And they're like, oh, yeah, he's nasty. And I'm like, is he? I'm like, what have you been watching? I didn't watch him. I mean, I watched him lose to a 5-7 Kansas team, and I saw him struggle against good competition.
I mean, I watched the Ducks absolutely fucking stomp them. So
I saw him run a 40 like he played for the Miami Hurricanes.
He's not fast.
He's not fast at all.
No.
So physically, this kid had no traits that we were looking for. The only thing he had was his last name, and that he actually understands how to play quarterback. Like, he can read a defense pre-snap. He knows how to make, where to go with the ball. He knows how to make the right reads, make the right throws.
Yep.
He is pretty accurate. I'll give him that. He's very accurate with the football. But he doesn't wow you with his arm strength. He doesn't wow you. But he's accurate. So you're like, okay, he's accurate, knows how to read defense. That'll get him into the league, and he'll be able to compete
I was going to say
as
those
a backup
are two
or whatever.
Damn good qualities to have.
But
honestly.
what did I say to you? But what did I say to you before? But what did I say to you before the show? Those are the qualities that you can teach. You can teach a guy. A guy can learn to be accurate. A guy can learn to read a defense. A guy can't learn to run fast. He can't learn to be 6'5" and 230 pounds.
He can't.
He can't learn to just all of a sudden have a hand cannon.
He can't have arm speed.
Right. Like, those aren't things that you can teach.
Can't learn on.
I get that,
and so,
but I mean,
and I'm not saying it's like the end all be all. You have to have those things and meet these things. Like, Sean and I have been saying it, about Jaden Daniels. We didn't like Jaden Daniels because of how small he was.
I still don't.
And it still makes us nervous. Not to say that he couldn't be good. Drew Brees was great, arguably the best of his era.
Right.
But
what would you classify his arm strength as, though? Like,
what, Sanders?
Yeah.
Mid.
Sanders, he's above average.
Like right now,
I would say for a pro prospect, middle of the road.
Right, but would you say that
he's not jumping off he's not jumping off, like his fastball isn't jumping out at you on film.
He's not throwing 20 to 20.
Is his arm strength right now better or worse than like Tom Brady's was when he got drafted?
Better.
So like.
Yeah, but Tom Brady had shit for arm strength, and not for nothing. But
Tom
again,
Brady had shit for
but that was
a
whole
read
different
the defense. He knew how to play.
No, but that was a
Brady
whole
was also
different
6th-round pick.
Yeah, that was a whole different era. That was a whole different understanding. Brady didn't take care of himself. He admitted to that.
Tomato 5-6 here.
But Brady was what, 6'5"? You know what I mean? He had
how big Shedeur? How tall is he?
Was he 6'1"?
6'3".
That's fucking not bad, guy.
No, that's not good for a quarterback.
Why is 6'3" not good for a quarterback?
Because you have to seal the defensive lineman ahead of you. Anything under like 6'2"
or
below is tough.
When your offensive lineman 6'8", it's kind of tough to see.
I thought 6'3" was good because like
6'3" is not bad.
What's Josh Allen?
It's even worse. Shedeur Sanders is 6'1".
That's what I said.
So you're right.
6'1".
Wow.
So that's like Drew Brees height.
I mean,
And that's
Kyler Murray.
No, Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray's
is
like
shorter
5'10", dude.
Kyler Murray.
Jesus. Yeah, true.
Kyler
true,
Murray,
true.
They say is 6'1". Kyler Murray
Murray's
is
a midget.
5'10",
What's
5'9".
like Trevor Lawrence and like Josh Allen?
6'5".
6'5".
Josh
Allen's
Allen's
6'6".
6'6". Josh Allen's a fucking monster.
6'6", that's huge.
That's why John Elway was in love with him.
I do know that because I have seen him in person now. That does make a lot of sense.
He's a horse.
Yeah, when we went to the we went to the Patriots Bills game a couple years ago. He is a big motherfucker.
So
that is true, but I still feel like
again, it's not the end all be all, and measurables like we say every year. It's like throw them out. Who fucking cares?
I think everybody's just reacting to his attitude.
We were talking all sorts of shit about Joe Burrow and his hand size a couple years ago. Look how that fucking worked out. Like
Joe Burrow had a problem with grip in college at LSU.
Now he's basically fucking Dan Marino reincarnate.
Oh
no, the humanity.
The average height.
Fucking bum.
The average height of an NFL quarterback in history is 6'4". That's the average.
Dude, like when I interviewed Steve Grogan a couple years ago, and he was in
Jalen Hurts.
He was in studio, and I shook his hand. Like, dude, I don't have small hands by any means. He wasn't that much taller than me, but he was like a big figure of a man.
Steve Grogan.
And he shook my hand, dude, and it swallowed my hand up. Like that dude had some monster mitts.
Jalen Hurts is 6'2", but he's a big 6'2".
Like you got to remember, like
he's
these guys have been
pounds.
What's Shador?
6'1", but he's 200 pounds.
Holy fuck, he's only 200.
Dude, he's small. That's what I'm telling you.
Wow, and he only runs like that.
That's what I'm telling you.
No, hey, he ran a 4.7.
Ouch. I didn't know it was that bad. I'm trying to shine light on the kid because I'm trying not to hate. Again, I want him to do well.
Again, like I said, the only people that I know that were high on Sanders coming out of the draft as a quarterback were the local Denver guys that I listened to. And they were the only ones that seemed to have his back. And I don't know if they were doing that because they're trying to play nice with Dion, because we all know how Dion treats the media out there. If you're not kissing his ass and telling him all the things he wants to hear, he's going to shut you right the fuck out.
Right. You know what?
So,
it's one of those things. I can't explain why I like the kid. I just do. And I want him to do well.
Listen, I have nothing against him. I want to see him do well.
I do.
Now, I did want to see
And his brother, too.
Tampa,
right? Tampa, yeah.
He's not going to do shit. Dude.
I hope so.
He's terrible.
I know.
He's horrible.
You know what? I'm glad he got a little contract or whatever, get some money.
Yeah, he was an undrafted free agent, right?
Shiloh?
Yeah.
I said on the show, I said Shiloh is so bad, I don't think he should even play in the NFL. Period. I said not only not drafted, but not even play.
That little video thing is going fucking around like everybody loves it or whatever. It's fucking getting its rounds there, where he's just like, "Damn, bro." He's like, what are they gonna do to me if they're doing you like this? And fucking Shador starts fucking dying laughing because he's dropping high in the draft, and he's like, "Fuck, man, if they're doing this to you, I'm cooked." And everybody starts it's just a viral video. It's just dude. Like, what do you want? Like,
neither one of them excelled against good competition individually. Like, I get it. Like, okay, everybody's sitting there saying, well, Shador's offensive line was fucking garbage. And I'm like, that might be the case. But he still didn't show me anything on film that says, all right, if you put a good offensive line in front of this kid, it's going to look totally different in terms of the way the game goes.
Well, if you can see
I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Now, some people did, and I don't know if, again, it was the only people I heard that said that were people that were in the Denver media. And again, I'm pretty sure they're just trying to save face with Dion. And they're just lying, which sucks to say because I like some of those guys.
Right.
But I get it. They're in a tough spot.
Do you even think Shador gets a fair shot?
I think he's going to get a perfectly fair shot. This is the NFL. If you can play, you start. Like,
they don't give a fuck.
They don't give a fuck. You think the Cleveland Browns are going to be like, this kid could win us fucking 11 games this year, but fuck his dad.
Like, yo, bro, we're the Browns. We've had Johnny Manziel and Deshaun Watson.
This is what their 40th or 41st quarterback that they're going to have now?
Worse, bro.
How many starters is this going to be for the Browns coming into this year? How many? Just type in Google. How many Browns quarterback starters Browns since Tim Couch, since 2002? It's got to be like high 30s in the low 40s at this point. At the very least in the mid 30s.
We got since 1999.
Oh, 99.
Holy dog shit. That's a lot. $24.
Got to be more than that.
No.
What are you asking? How many quarterbacks since when?
Quarterbacks? I mean,
Since
this one's going all the way back since
Are you,
70.
are you saying since starters?
Yeah.
It's way more than 24. Dude, 24 just seems like the last 10 years.
I know, right? Well,
40. That was right. Why can I look this up in 3 seconds and it takes
I don't know
you
where the hell you
25
looked it up.
I just typed it into Google.
So did I.
How many starting quarterbacks in Cleveland since 1999? 40.
Oh, this automatically redirected me to Cleveland Browns quarterback history since 1999. And for some reason, Tim
That's
Couch
still wrong.
in 1977 is
Well,
fucking
it's just like
there.
this is like the Detroit Pistons conversation.
I don't know.
That was the fucking Pistons website. What do you want me to do?
I know.
God.
I'm better than the Pistons website. I can't help myself.
The intern was like, I hate my
I literally
job.
typed in starting quarterbacks. I said Browns starting quarterbacks since 2000 or whatever,
God-
and it just redirected me
This
to
is
that.
why.
I was
This is
like,
why
all
we
right.
could never put Paul behind the glass to feed us information.
Oh fuck no, you'd be fucked. We all know I don't have a serious role on this show. I just spew bullshit.
Paul has to be an on-air personality. Like, he
yeah,
has
I'm
to
just
be.
here to fucking
You're great on air. I love you on air. It's just, but dude, Jesus Christ, imagine we had Paul trying to feed us hey Paul, we're talking we need an answer, and somebody should be just picking up on that. Be like, all right, let me get them that answer. They're struggling with it.
It's the most important.
Meanwhile,
thing ever.
Paul's back there just watching the Celtics game, eating chips.
No. You'd be like that dude. What's his fucking name? God damn it, he does Family Feud. When he
Steve Harvey.
Yeah, Steve Harvey, your ass Miss America. When you're like, God damn it, Paul, you motherfucker, this is wrong.
You fucked me. Paul's like, I don't know.
ChatGPT said it was right. I don't know.
ChatGPT, dude.
Yeah.
But the Sanders fall again. I don't understand where people were getting off thinking that Sanders was going to be a top 5 pick. I never believed that. I know the media believed that, and I know everybody thought, no, I'm good. I still got a half a soda water here. I just didn't see it. You and I didn't see it. We shared a brain on that for a while, and we were like, I don't see him as a top. I mean, and again, we did preface it with never underestimate the stupidity of NFL GMs. They will fall in love with guys for no apparent reason.
They
and
fell in love with
way
E.J.
over-
Manuel.
and way overdraft them.
EJ Manuel was a 5th-round pick, and the Buffalo took him in the first round, pick 9. I was like, what?
Dude, it's wild. So
They're like, we love this kid.
I mean, look at the Broncos with Paxton Lynch.
He was a 3rd-rounder, too, and I was like,
And everybody, but they talked themselves into the fact they thought he was a top 10 pick, and then they took him, and it was like, oh, well, this was stupid. That didn't work, and nor should it have. That should have been Josh Allen and Shanahan, but whatever, neither here nor there. Sanders, though, the fall once the Steelers and the Niners passed on him, I was like, we got a big problem here because those are 2 good franchises that could take a quarterback and put him in a good position to succeed.
he is so lucky that he declined the NFL invite.
Oh, what, to go to New York?
Oh, Green Bay.
Right. I'm sorry.
Yes, I'm
it'll,
used to
it'll
New
always,
York, I
it'll
know.
always be Radio City Music Hall to me. I
But
don't-
imagine he goes on day 3, you see him, and then he's just wearing a winter coat in the back.
why the fuck was everybody why did the commissioner come out riding a bicycle with
he's
Lil
just-
Wayne?
He's just fucking stupid.
Is anybody else sick of the fucking pageantry with the draft and all this shit?
Yeah, that's bad.
I am so over it.
I love the draft. Roger Goodell has ruined the draft for me. I can't stand
It's
him.
they make it this big spectacle, it's this big thing, and I'm like,
It's a waste of time.
dude, it really is.
Massive
It
waste of
drags
time.
out for way too long.
I can't wait until we get back and we talk about Paul's Colts, because right before the Colts was the Dolphins,
Sucked.
and the Dolphins took all of their time, right down to the very end.
Yep.
And the Dolphins sent in their pick, and then you saw it in the camera. The Dolphins pick was walking up, and here comes the Colts guy, right behind him, and I was like, that is really close behind him. They're running that pick in.
Doing the Augusta speed walk. Can't run on the Augusta grounds, but we can speed walk, motherfucker.
And then I thought, I said it. I think
What
I
pick
did.
was it?
I did the show live, and I was like, oh, the Dolphins
8,
are
9,
probably
7, something
the
like
Dolphins
that.
are probably taking Tyler Warren. That makes sense.
Oh, this was a 14. Oh, ours was a 14 pick.
14.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, the Dolphins must be taking Tyler Warren, because why would the Colts guy run after him so quick behind him? That's
Right.
crazy. And then the Dolphins do the most Dolphins thing ever and have a shit draft. They draft the backup defensive tackle at 14 overall from Michigan, and then I laughed and I was like, yo, that guy's a third rounder. I don't know. Nobody had him as a first rounder.
I'm not rooting against the Dolphins.
It's been bad.
But I am going to celebrate when Mike McDaniel gets fired. And the Dolphins have been nothing but a pure and utter disappointment.
I feel
and I'm
bad.
going to say, see? You should have kicked the fucking field goal.
I know.
You
I like
fucking
Mike
nerd.
McDaniel. But
I do too.
I hate
don't.
him for not doing that.
I
don't like Mike McDaniel at
will
all.
forever hate Mike McDaniel for not kicking that fucking
You
field
should
goal.
have done it, bro. Even though it was against the Broncos, you just should have fucking
It was
done
against
it,
it
bro.
was against my fucking team. You should have kicked the goddamn fucking field goal.
You would have at least been in the history
What
books.
did I say the Tuesday after they scored the 70 points against the Broncos? What did I say? When he gets fired in 2 years and they've won no Super Bowls, no playoff games, his brains are scrambled eggs, and he's gone, no one's going to fucking remember shit about you.
Mike
At least that
McDaniel-
way, you've got the all-time scoring record.
Mike
Yep.
McDaniel should be fired by Game 7 this year.
I don't think he makes it to the end of the year.
No, I don't think so either.
It's going to be one.
Team's gonna be
They're
terrible.
one to a concussion away
unless
from Mike
they're
McDaniel
6-0.
getting fired.
Well, Tua's like gaining a bunch of weight. I don't know why. So anyway,
He's trying to beef it up so he
Miami-
doesn't get concussed all the time.
Miami puts in their pick, and you know how the bottom ticker comes up, and you wait for Miami's pick to come through because they
Yeah.
just make it for no reason.
Yep.
You see the Colts guy. The Colts guy's like this, puts down the pick immediately. So at the bottom it says Miami selecting defensive tackle from Michigan. Immediately after it says the Colts pick is in, and I was like, I guarantee you the Colts are picking Tyler Warren. I was
Yeah.
like, I guarantee you. I was like, there's no way. The guy runs up behind the Dolphins guy, throws the ticket in immediately, and it was like, because it's almost like they didn't want to like almost like make a mistake. Like, oh, we picked the wrong guy. We meant to say this one instead. The Colts like, nope.
Nope. Time's up. We already made our pick.
And exactly. And I was like, you never know with the NFL.
It's like once the sticker's on the board in fantasy.
yes.
Yep.
And let me
Can't
tell
help
you,
you.
I cracked up laughing. I did it live, obviously. I cracked up laughing, and I said, if the Colts take Tyler Warren, I was like, that's who the Dolphins should have taken.
Right.
And I was like, I don't know why they took the defensive tackle. I get you're supposed to shore up the lines, but I was like, this is the wrong dude to take. And then the Colts, Tyler Warren. Immediately, I love the kid,
Tyler
though, too.
Warren's like, that's like having like a really nice gun without a fucking fire. You know, it's got no firing pin.
But I made this joke to you. I
know?
said, listen, I said last year at Penn, Tyler Warren was a quarterback. He was also fullback, running back. He played kick returner, he punted, and he did punt returning.
Really?
So, fuck it. Hey, and when he threw 6 attempts, and he was, I think, 3 for 6 with a touchdown pass.
Oh, all right. 50%.
So
Give it to him.
I like Tyler Warren. I like the Colts draft.
He's like Jeremy Shockey. That's who he is. I said he's a new age Jeremy Shockey.
I'll take that.
I like what the Colts did there. Like they took the best player available. It fills a need for them. It gives them somebody to throw to if they're going to end up going with a young quarterback next year. Because for what you're hearing, right, Richardson's probably out.
He's cooked, bro.
Like he might not even start. Like he might not even be on the team this year. They might just cut bait and say fuck it.
There's a quarterback you drafted that I like
Notre Dame.
is it Howard?
No.
Hold on.
I'll
tell you right now.
From Notre Dame. Begins with an L.
I thought for sure the Colts were going to take Dylan Gabriel.
I'd
Just
be
because
so
it would have
pumped.
only because not because I heard anybody say that, because it just would have made you wicked happy.
It would have made me very
You
happy.
would have been fucking
I
stoked.
would have been happy with that over some of the picks, especially where Dylan Gabriel went. I'm like, damn, you mean to tell me like we could have had like a surefire, like at least like pocket passer?
Oh no, it is the right guy. I had the wrong name. Riley Leonard for quarterback from Notre Dame.
Leonard begins with an L.
He is a late round, potentially if you work on him, if you have a good quarterback
I
coach.
heard could be a steal.
He could be a really good quarterback because he's very ADD, like in the room. He's someone that's like very efficient with like learning the game, learning the plays, knowing who needs to be where and when. And
Right.
he's very like detail oriented and been like, this guy's out of position. I'm not going to throw it to him because this guy's going to come down. He reads plays well before the game. The problem with Riley is that he needs to speed up his actual play to catch up with his mind. Like he already has like the mind of like a very good quarterback, but his play isn't like as fast
I
as
guess
a really
we'd
good
have to
quarterback.
see what the coaching staff is going to do. In Indy, I don't really have any like
He was someone-
disbelief that we can't get it done.
He was someone I would be like, oh, if it's a 6th, 7th round, I wouldn't mind the Patriots taking a flyer as this kid.
We took him late, 4th round, I think.
No, I think he was 6th or 7th.
Oh, was that late?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
He's very much like, I'm telling you, like he has the brain of like he could definitely be an offensive coordinator in like 10 years.
Right.
Like
well,
he thinks
you,
way
man,
ahead.
That's half the fucking battle, bro. I mean,
That's
look
the
at
problem,
fucking
though.
Mahomes and shit and all these guys.
Nah. Those guys are super talented and the brain. He has the brain, but
Right,
his body's too slow
he has
to
his
like.
mobility, but that's what I'm saying. He has his mobility, he has his things, but
He's going to make a great coach someday.
Unfortunately.
But as long as you have that cerebral mindset.
But I liked Warren. I think that was a good pick. It made
Warren,
sense.
amazing pick.
Great player, great
Blocks,
pick. I mean,
amazing. Like I love the kid.
he's the guy they called Baby Gronk, right? That's the one. Or is
Uh,
that the other kid?
I don't think. No,
Baby Gronk
is
is still like 12 years old.
No.
No.
Oh.
They're saying he's Gronk-like, but they said that with every tight end now, which I
I thought you
kind of
meant
hate.
like the actual like internet kid, Baby Gronk.
They say every tight end that blocks and catches well is Baby Gronk, and every tight end that doesn't block well but runs great routes is Travis Kelce. I hate that now.
Well, it's just they always going to draw a comparison to somebody, which is ridiculous. But
That's what it is.
because they always they never like he's Jimmy Graham. It's like no, he's Travis Kelce. You're like, all right, man, can we find some middle ground here? Like, come
Right.
on.
Give me
like
some
not
different-
everybody's Travis Kelce and not everybody's Gronk. So
Right.
why don't we find like
What
why
would
doesn't anybody ever be like, oh, he's Antonio Gates?
What
you know?
would Jimmy? I mean, but what would Jimmy Graham do if he was on the Chiefs in his prime with this offense? I mean,
I don't know. Probably
Probably the same.
probably what he did with Drew Brees when he was in his prime in that offense.
kill it.
That
Like,
offense was
what?
wicked
Like,
fucking productive. Didn't he have 1,300 yards receiving one year?
That's what I'm
Like,
saying, like Jimmy
as a
Graham
tight
was
end,
fucking
Jimmy Graham was a
awesome.
beast, but he was short-lived.
He was the best touchdown celebrator I've ever seen through the goalpost. He was a goalpost.
Yeah, because he was a Miami basketball player.
Yeah, he used to fucking jump from like from the line, like I mean, probably not.
Not that
but
far,
I'm
but
just
yeah.
saying, like,
No, he was fun. He was fun in his prime because there was like one or two years there where it was like him and Gronk were like, it was like, oh, who is the best? Like, damn, like
yeah, Jimmy Graham was on his ass.
Jimmy Graham, but Gronk always had the edge because he blocked.
Yeah,
Jimmy Graham never had a Jonas.
he was a little more flashy.
Never had a like Jonas Gray game where like he threw the Colts to you had to throw him out the club.
Yeah.
Never had that moment, so it was always held against him. But Colts did a good job in the draft. Sean, I actually like what your Patriots did too.
I loved everything.
It wasn't a
except-
sexy pick.
No.
The first pick. So the first pick was
Will Campbell.
Will Campbell.
I like the kid. He's a fucking dog, bro. He's a.
Listen. And I know everybody was like, we need receivers. We need so many skill.
You don't need receivers, bro.
Anybody who is like pounding the table for a receiver at 4
idiot.
is a fucking idiot.
Way
you're,
too early.
You're a moron. You're a clown. You don't know shit about drafting a team. Bad teams take receivers
early.
in the top 5. The only guy, I mean, like you can say like, oh well, Calvin Johnson was number 2 overall. Yeah, and how good were the fucking Detroit Lions with Calvin Johnson? Oh
Shit.
right, they
and
weren't.
Matthew Stafford.
Right.
Well, they
That's-
filled seats. Cool, man. Everyone wanted to see the spectacle.
They
They
did
made
not fill
they made the
seats.
playoffs like twice.
That
Like,
was a lie as well.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
They did
Oh,
not
okay.
fill seats.
it wasn't a sexy
This
pick,
season was short.
but you've got to protect the franchise. And I think this is Mike Vrabel's fingerprints
100%.
all over this pick because it's basically the comp for him was Kevin Skoworski or whatever from Tennessee.
Yes.
That was-
Perfect example.
That was the comp that Vrabel took. That guy,
Peter
Pe-
Skoronsky.
Peter Skoronsky.
Yeah.
That's who they compared him to.
And then you
Makes sense because you've got a young quarterback who you want to keep upright and give him a chance to develop
Yes.
and learn. I don't understand why people were mad about this pick. Like,
And then-
it just
another comparable Will Campbell has to is Taylor Lewan because they all have
Yep.
shorter arms and they're not exactly like the greatest to play at the left tackle spot or the right tackle
and the other
spot.
two also happen to play for the Titans.
Yeah, so worst case scenario, I was like, here's the thing. He's going to be able to play line well, okay? I don't think he's going to fit a left tackle long term, honestly, if I'm being completely honest with you. I think eventually he's going to kick into guard, but at least he'll be a solid offensive lineman guard and he won't flutter out. I don't think he's going to be garbage by any
I
means.
forget the quote that he had about the arms thing. I'll find it later.
Who?
Will Campbell himself. About making comparisons. He had a great quote.
Oh,
about
yeah.
That,
No, he had-
nobody said shit about so-and-so until this and something about short arms, but I'll find it later. But
Yeah, no, he made a bunch of great quotes too, and he says he goes defensive lineman no one keeps stats for defensive lineman. He goes, if you're a defensive end, you get a sack a game, you're getting paid millions of dollars, you're on everything. He goes, I'm a defensive lineman, I let up a sack a game. He goes, I'm working at Amazon.
Yeah.
And he goes, that's just a fact of the
I
matter.
let
He
up a
goes,
sack every 12,
Yeah.
12
you
games.
let up 2 sacks over the season. It's like, oh, rough year, huh?
yeah.
Like shit.
So, but he's honest about it. But when he came up to the podium and he was like, and he gave something, I can't wait to play for New England. This is why I wanted to go. And I'm like, yeah, they all say that. And then they asked him about, like, what are you excited about? And he starts to like tear up and cry. And I was like, don't do this. He's like, and then he goes, I'm gonna die for Drake May. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, that caught me
Everybody
off
was on.
guard.
Yeah.
My cup runneth over.
Yeah, I watched that happen too because it was cool. I got to actually sit down and like watch the draft, cook my steak and shit, and I was sitting there chilling, and I was like, oh damn,
I gasped. I was like,
This dude set the tone. He was like, I'm gonna fight and I'm gonna die out there, and I was just like,
I'm gonna die for Drake.
I was just like sitting there. I'm like, all right, motherfucker, you got it.
I was like,
this dude's serious, bro.
I was like, you're gonna die for
he said it
Drake
with
May?
that southern accent, and plus he played for LSU, so I'm like, yo, this kid's probably for real, bro. I'm like, this is crazy.
Listen, I like him. I think he's going to be a good player.
Yeah.
I liked the
He's
pick.
gonna be a fucking awesome fit for that organization. Stand-up guy. He's a nice, well-made.
And again, you can always tell the people that don't know jack shit about drafting players and based on needs, and they're all like, oh, we needed a skill position guy for Drake May, not a goddamn offensive line. Like they think you can just find left tackles and Pro Bowl
so
guards like on the
difficult.
scrap heap at any point. Like, no, it's exactly the opposite. You can find wide receivers; they're a dime a dozen.
Right.
Finding quality offensive linemen in this league is extremely hard.
That's why I don't get
Like, I
the
don't
whole
know-
like skill position thing.
When did that
'Cause,
go? When did that become so
I'm
backwards?
sorry. Is it not a skill to fucking stop Von Miller? You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Is
Yeah,
that
that takes
not
a lot of
skill
skills.
to have? Like, how is that not a skill position?
I think that's actually a good point, Paul, because the fact that we refer to skill position guys as like the guys that catch the ball and run the ball,
Yeah.
not the guys that are blocking the pass rushers.
block Aaron Donald,
It
bro.
just makes them seem like they're just sacks of lard that you stick out there in front of a quarterback and
Bro.
be like, go get in the way.
Yeah, how is it not a skill to block guys like Von Miller and Aaron Donald and all these fucking crazy ass dudes that are coming at you? That's a highly fucking
Right.
crazy skill.
Like Sean said, the guys that
And
are
do
getting
it well,
paid
bro.
tens of millions of dollars a year to get 10 sacks over
Right.
18 games.
TJ
Or
Watt,
17,
you know
you know what I mean?
Watts, all
17
these
games.
kids, all these guys.
Like those guys get paid big bucks to sack quarterbacks,
Yep.
and if they get one sack a game, they are fucking otherworldly, dude. That
Yeah.
is a
One sack in like 5 games is dope, bro. Like that's crazy good. Like you're,
No, I mean,
you're probably staying on the team.
if you can get 10 in a year,
Yeah,
That's a great year.
it's a good
oh,
year.
that's a good year.
No,
You're on
15 is
ESPN.
starting to be like a great year.
You're on ESPN if you're getting that.
15 is getting you highlight reel shit.
Right.
15 a year is like where you got to hit, I think, in order to really. It's-
Wilbon and all them.
You know what I mean?
talking about
It's
you
like the
and shit.
quarter. It's like the quarterback threshold for touchdowns in a year. Like for me, like 30 is like the minimum.
It's 35 now.
Nah, because even
Inflation. You have the extra game.
I still
well,
think 30,
maybe,
though.
but like even still, 30 is still a good number because like 30 used to be like elite. Now
Yeah.
30 is like kind of the
A
threshold.
little bit more running.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Little bit
35 is like,
Well,
That's the new
35 is
bar.
like elite.
yeah, 35
No,
is the
35 and up is
barometer.
Well,
elite.
because a lot of these passing.
I'm not saying
quarterbacks
elite.
now,
I'm just saying the threshold to be considered like a good. Have a
Okay.
good
right. Well, because a
season.
lot of these passing quarterbacks now can run, so you're taking a lot of that away. So that's why I think
well,
like,
yes
30,
and- yes.
30 is like a good mark. That's
Yes
a
and
good
no,
mark.
but-
Nah, I'm not. No, you're not. I'm not counting running touchdowns to pass.
Well,
No, of course not.
But like you go back and like you remember like back in like the early 2000s, like 30 and 10 was like that's like okay, that's a good season.
30 touchdowns, 10 picks.
Yep,
Yeah.
3-1
Yeah,
touchdown
and
to
then
pick
you have
ratio.
like A-Rod up there with like 40 and,
And
3
then,
or some shit.
well,
or
then you
whatever
had
he
like
had,
you had Brady and A-Rod come out, and like even Breeze I think had like a 40 and 8 season or something like that.
What was A-Rod's lowest?
A-Rod threw, I want to say it was 45 and 6.
That was
That was 2000. 12?
2.
2018.
Oh,
2012? Was that 2012? What was the year Flynn went to the Seahawks? 2012, right?
Was that
Or was it
2012
11?
already?
It might have been 11.
he
No.
threw 2 picks in
I
2018.
think it was 2012 that Flynn left because I think 2011
2011, 2012
was
his,
the
one
game
of those
that
years was
Rodgers
his
missed
best.
some of the time, and then the Patriots they
Aaron
came
Rodgers
here.
threw 2 interceptions in 2018.
Go to 2012, 11 or 12
for Rodgers.
for A-Rod.
Oh, actually, 11. 6.
But how many
11.
touchdowns?
Oh,
46, 45? It was 45. I want to say it was 45.
oh, does that have it? It does not. Of course it does not.
Just click on Rodgers. Just click on the name Rodgers.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know what this thing is. Like, I don't know, like, what this
to his
whole thing
stats.
is. Joe's gonna be like, done.
Wait, you just.
Look up, you
Yeah,
stupid.
45 and 6.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I was like, just click on his name. You're so close.
He was
I
45 and 6 in 2000. That was the Tebow year. 39 and 8 the next year. 38-5 in 14, 31-8 in 15, 40-7 in 16. Yeah, A-Rod did not get intercepted a lot. 48-5 was 2020. That was the year they lost to the Bucks in the NFC Championship.
Freaking 5.
And then 37-4 the next year. I mean, this dude that's just fucking insane.
That's a lot of
503 career touchdowns and 116
Solid
career
backup.
interceptions. That's insane, dude.
uh,
But the reason why I remember the 2011 season was because Matt Flynn threw 6 touchdowns in the final game of the season, and A-Rod had 45. If that was him, he would have broke Brady's record that year.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I was like, God damn, like you could have had the fucking record, bro. Like you were 5 away from tying and 6, and then Matt Flynn goes out and throws 6
Right.
in a meaningless
Would've
game,
been
albeit.
easy.
But
Right.
but the way A-Rod was playing, he would have had it. But anyway, I remember that. But no, that's like, yeah, those are like another level elite numbers. Now to be like considered like in that like upper echelon top 5 category,
12.
35 is like the minimum for me. Like 30 gets you in the
Oh, I
conversation.
thought you meant picks.
35 and
No.
up.
30 picks.
Picks
No,
are-
no,
Right, Jameis.
8 to 12. 8 to 12.
yeah, you can't throw many picks in this league anymore because it's kind of hard to throw interceptions now. Like the good quarterbacks don't get intercepted anymore.
Don't tell it to Jameis.
Well,
30-30 club.
30-30 club.
yeah, but that was
James
also like 10 years ago.
I want him to
That
be
was
on
not
a
10 years
I want him
ago.
to be on a 30 for
5
30.
years ago, 6 years ago.
I want that season to be on ESPN 30 for 30.
That was what, 2019?
30
Something
for
like
30.
that.
2019.
He was so
ESPN's
excited.
ESPN's 30 for 30. 30 for 30.
Big season ends. He's like, pow, 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 pow. It's like, dude, you said 30 in this
I'm so damn blessed on this Thursday night. We out here playing football. You're like, interception. All right, bro.
Jameis giveth and Jameis taketh away.
Game check, baby. He's in the locker room smoking a cigar.
I love-
But you
like,
threw
listen.
4 interceptions. He's like, fuck it.
He goes, yeah, but
He's
I was
just
trying
so-
to throw touchdowns.
He's just so jubilant. You know
Remember,
what I'm saying?
remember when he broke his leg? He with one leg with crutches in the locker room dancing with the thing going
Yeah,
on.
yeah. He's just a crazy motherfucker. Bro.
So-
he's a whole vibe.
Anyway, that's where I'm at with like the elite numbers thing. Anyway, I don't know how we got off on that
Yeah, who
little
knows?
side
Yeah,
note, but
who knows?
No,
we
we're
were
talking
talking
about
about quarterbacks.
absolutely.
But that's the thing with like, so when it comes to Drake May and getting protected, I think the Patriots pick was perfect. Like
Yeah.
that's what I thought they should do.
I think so.
That's what I would have done. I can't disagree with it. I know a lot of people were upset because it's not a sexy pick. They wanted Genty. They wanted a receiver. Which
I
again,
didn't want Genty that
those
high.
you don't need him, dude. You don't need him. Good teams don't need. Genty is a guy that you draft. Like if like the Philadelphia Eagles didn't have Saquon last year,
No shit.
and Genty comes out, you draft him.
Because you're gonna get Genty smoked behind that dog shit line that you have. Like you don't get it. You
But it
gotta
doesn't-
build the brick. You gotta build the foundation before you build the castle,
What
my
did
guy.
what did we talk about going into last year? A running back, a great running back will a running back will never make a bad team good, but a running back can make a good team great.
Right. Right.
Like that, they'll never drag a bad team up because I mean, unless you're Adrian Peterson in 2012, and you know the one-time Purple Jesus
Right,
drags
right,
like
right,
Joe Webb
right,
and that
right,
shit Vikings
right,
team to the playoffs.
even Barry Sanders
But
couldn't
even
turn
that-
the Lions into a fucking
Even
winning
even
franchise.
that year was a 10-6 year, and they were bounced
They
in the
did
first round.
nothing, Right.
So whatever, but neither here nor there. But my point is, the Patriots draft I thought was spot on, first round pick. I know there was a bunch of other picks they made too. Like
They got that kid
well,
from
the-
Ohio. Too.
I know.
A couple kids.
I didn't.
I'm like, bro, those are.
I
big
didn't
time
care for
dudes, bro.
Travion Henderson in the second
The
round.
receiver, right?
No, he's a running back.
Oh, the running back.
see, I liked him. I wanted him for Denver.
But that makes sense for Denver. For us, I was like, why are we doing this? We don't have
Because
a great
you-
offensive line.
Well, because you need somebody to run the ball at some point, and if you're already building the offensive line,
Now
I mean,
you have a young talent
now
to develop.
you've got
And
somebody.
a solid one, bro.
And Travion Henderson, I thought was to me that was the guy I had circled that I wanted the Broncos to grab
You
in the
need
second
the
round.
draft from Ohio or Georgia or like Michigan
or Bama.
or Bama. Yeah,
Bama, not anymore.
not anymore. No, that's why.
Well,
That's why I said
not running
Ohio,
backs.
Ohio and Georgia.
Receivers, yes.
But,
Running backs,
So, but by the way,
Oh, and you guys got no. Did you get Tez?
Quarterbacks?
Tez Johnson?
Also no.
Did you get Tez Johnson?
no,
From the Ducks?
no,
You didn't get Tez?
no. By the way, the Celtics
speaking
game
about-
is so out of control. By the way, the Celtics game they're up 25 with like 8 minutes to go in the fourth.
yeah, this is what we knew was going to happen.
yeah. The magic of just giving up.
Yeah. They know it's over. They
So-
this is what this
Oh, we went to Tampa. Never mind.
this
Go-
has been every game this series.
Yeah, but going back to the draft though,
25.
I know
please.
I didn't get the chance to go over it with you. I don't hate your pick. I was just kind of like meh, because your guy that you drafted, I know he was a cornerback, but he's not going to be a cornerback.
Jahdae Barron. He's going to be a nickel. He's a nickel corner for us.
Nickel, or you can play him free safety. You can be like that middle center fielder.
He'll play nickel
because he's fast. He's fast. He can read the ball fast.
Well, because he's going to be in a rotation with P.J. Locke.
That's fine. I think that's just like
Barron,
you're adding
and obviously you've got Hufanga now as the solidified starter.
God damn it! I keep forgetting Hufanga's there. I actually like Hufanga a lot.
You're right, which is why I love
He's a
this.
fucking
Which is why I love
monster.
this pick, because even Chris Harris said, the no-fly zone Chris Harris from the 2015 Broncos, arguably the greatest secondary we've ever seen. Even he said you can never have enough corners on a team.
Yeah,
you can never have enough. You can never have enough talent. I mean, look what happened last year. Riley Moss goes down. That whole secondary got exposed. They were just like, all right, well, we're just not going to throw it PS2, and we're going to go this way.
And how many yards receiving the Colts have given up the past
and Jerry
2 years?
Jerry Jeudy went off for 200 yards against our backups.
Yep.
And some guys who had actually played fairly well up until that point, or even from last year. So
The Colts get undrafted free agents, contract extensions with how many yards they get.
need depth at corner.
Sure.
And that was a big need for us that really I don't think a lot of people looked at, because they see Riley Moss in PS2, Defensive Player of the Year. You get Hufanga. You know what I mean? Like, you've got all these guys.
I didn't have that up there.
You're
No.
not even thinking. I wasn't thinking corner.
I didn't. No, I didn't.
But they
at all.
get this kid, and this kid's a fucking dog. This kid's a playmaker, and that's what I like about him. He reminds me of what's his name that we had, who was our nickel corner for the 2015 team.
Roby?
Bradley Roby.
Okay,
He reminds me a lot of him, where he's going to play that role where he's going to make big ass plays for you throughout the season, and you're going to look back on him and be like, damn.
The only thing
That was big.
I didn't care for his game with was that I didn't think he was like coming out of college. I know I read it somewhere, was that he wasn't like a sure tackler, like he was a short arm tackler.
Dude, I'm pretty sure he set the record for most tackles in the season for Texas last year. Like, and everything I've seen on film. Like I said, you said that, and the only other place I could find that was, I think, the NFL.com.
No, I don't want NFL.com.
Write up about it. No one else had that.
No
Other, not Baldy, not McShay, not anybody, not any of the DNVR, not any of the Broncos draft guys that I listened to.
Right.
None of them had. Everyone said he's a stellar tackler.
Not McShay.
And that's why he got drafted in the first round, was because he's such a short tackler.
Right.
Because the position he's going to play,
Hold on.
you've got to be a good
If you
tackler.
can
If you're going to be
wrap,
basically a
have
free
to
safety nickel
wrap.
corner, you've got to be able to tackle. And he's not afraid to stick his nose in there, come up to the line, get his hands dirty, and put in work. So
well, if you think about it, those are the most important tackles, because those are the ones that are way past everything.
Well,
that
yeah,
either
when
make
the
or
when the
break
defensive line spills it out spills a play to the
and it's
outside,
a one-on-one.
and you go one-on-one with a corner with a big ass running
The
back,
next
you're like,
closest
oh,
guy's 4
mismatch,
yards or something.
right?
Yeah.
And you get that one tackle right there at the line of scrimmage, or 1 yard after 1 yard gain. That's big.
Yep.
That's why I think Denver's defense went from already going to be the best in the league to now they're the best in the league.
I told you, when you guys got Bo Nix with Sean Payton, I said this shit's going to be serious.
But that defense is going to be dominant. Like, the offense is going to get better.
And now you have the defense.
The defense is going to be as dominant. I think they were number 3 in points allowed last year, number 1 in sacks.
You'll probably be knocking on at least divisional round next year.
I mean, I'm thinking bigger than that.
You'll be like I'm saying, like you'll probably be in the divisional
Well,
round.
here's my thing, and I think I said this earlier,
If not,
a couple weeks ago. We're competing with Kansas City for the division.
yeah.
If we're competing with Kansas City, we're competing for a Super Bowl.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Kansas City's gone to 3 straight.
Well,
So
anything can happen in the playoffs, so that's why I at least give you're going to beat
oh
wild
no, I know,
card
but
over
I'm saying,
divisional.
if we're competing with Kansas City, if we can take the division from Kansas City, we're competing for Super Bowl. Like, that's the bar. Kansas City is the cream of the crop right now.
Right.
And no matter who they lose or what players come and go, they always seem to be there somehow.
If you guys sweep them in the regular season, I don't know, you're looking pretty good.
We were a missed field goal away from a block field goal away from sweeping them last year.
I know, it's great.
And everybody everybody will point to the Week 18 game. It's like, well, it was all their backups. Yeah, but we trashed their backups. Like, we blew them out of the water by like 40 points.
Yeah, it was nuts.
And then the game in Kansas City that really mattered, that set the tone for the season,
Yep.
we had a chippy field goal get blocked
I know.
on some bullshit. You know what I mean?
It's gay. Yep.
So pissed me off pretty bad that day. I was pretty fucking furious. But
I had no other word for that. I'm
but
sorry.
I liked the pick. I liked Janae Barron as the pick. I didn't have it on my radar. But once Tyler Warren was gone, Genty was gone. Now I'm starting to think, I'm like, well, do they trade back? And I'm like, well, Sean Payton's never traded back ever. So I'm like, they're probably not going to start now.
I don't trust Sean Payton.
I was thinking maybe Matthew Golden.
That's what my pick was. Matthew Golden.
That was my gut instinct said Golden. But again, Sean Payton's one of those guys that loves to go into the 5th, 6th, 7th round and find these receivers and uncover them. And I think with Payton, he already believes he's got his receivers on the roster. Whether it's Troy Franklin or Mims and a couple of these other guys that were young and they had some dropsy issues last year and made some errors. Those guys are going to grow up in this offense, and they're going to get up to speed, and they're going to be much better for it this year.
And you have a talent like Bo Nix in the backfield who can basically throw to anybody.
Also, yes,
you can have multiple levels of talent and receiver, and Bo can pretty much play to whatever speed they're at.
Having the quarterback makes all the difference in the world because now you don't have to spend that 20th overall pick on a Matthew Golden because you can go and I'm not saying it's just snap your fingers and that easy.
Right.
But, you can go find a Marcus Colston. Sean Payton found Marcus Colston, the 7th round?
Yes, 6th or 7th, yeah.
So, I think Michael Thomas is the only guy he spent a high pick on.
Michael Thomas was the 2nd rounder.
So I think that was the highest.
58th or something.
I think that was the highest he's ever drafted a receiver.
Look how that worked out.
And, the slant god.
Yeah, but he was Ohio State, and he was known as like a big-time receiver.
Beast, and when he played,
but he still only went in the 2nd round.
Still a high compensation pick. I look at the rest of your draft. I forgot. You think you drafted somebody else? I think you drafted Q Robinson out of Alabama, who I liked.
Yes.
R.J. Harvey, you got out of UCF.
That one I liked.
You guys traded a lot for him.
That's okay.
I shouldn't say a lot.
It was
like a lot of pick swapping.
It was a lot of swaps.
Pat Bryant.
I think we only had 7 picks in this draft, but we ended up moving around 20.
That's crazy.
Yeah. The Broncos.
I really don't know much about the wide receiver you took. Pat Bryant. I don't know. He's one of those guys
that's one of those Sean Payton watch this picks.
Maybe.
Look what you don't believe me? Watch this. That's exactly the kind of guy that Sean Payton goes and grabs out late in the draft, and you just all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, where'd that come from?
That was one of those things. I think but that's part of the draft where in the 3rd round, 4th round, 5th round, you start making your gambles of I thought that guy was going to be drafted much later in the draft, but then guys shoot up.
You're looking to fill roster spots with upside. You know what I mean? You're looking for potential. You're looking for upside. You're looking for.
Belichick would take guys that are 5th, 6th rounders in the 2nd.
You're not getting impact guys in rounds 3 through 6, or 3 through 5, 3, 4, and 5. You're getting guys that you're just trying to get into camp, see if they can do something, and hopefully maybe you hit on 1 or 2 of them. I mean, if you do, great. That's where then your roster is loaded, and if those guys pan out, a couple of those guys pan out, now you have a plethora of riches at certain positions. So. The only thing I think they didn't do that I really wanted, I thought they would do more of, was address defensive line through the draft. Because I think of our 4 starters, I think only 3 of them are I think 3 of them are free agents after next year, including Franklin Myers. What's his name there? The kid we grabbed from San Francisco 2 years ago.
Who'd you get from San Francisco 2 years ago?
The big boy. Jesus Christ, Joe.
Line?
Yeah, defensive line. And
not Buckner.
No, we have him.
No, not Buckner.
Buckner went to
the and what's his name? Allen. Zach Allen is a free agent as well.
Yeah, but Zach Allen's not going anywhere.
It depends if he might, because if he's depending on his price tag, dude.
This was a weak draft for defensive and offensive linemen. A lot of undersized players. So it wasn't like a great draft.
AJ, God damn it, dude. This pisses me off when I can't think of names.
I can't think of who you're talking about.
Bro, there's so many names to recall, dude. It's ridiculous.
I know, but this is what I do. I can remember the fucking, exact goddamn.
Well, it's his team, though, too. But I can't pick up who went from San Francisco to the Denver and remind me who that was. And I don't know. I'm not thinking about it.
Right. I don't know. If you guys don't know, I sure as fuck don't know. That's a fact.
It is going to piss me off when I see it.
I can just go to this and just be like, oh.
Oh.
Let's see. What do we
Yeah,
got?
it's gonna suck for the Colts though. You guys are gonna have a rough season. I have no faith in.
You know,
fucking Danny
I
Dimes.
still think we're gonna be.
No.
We're gonna be like a 6-win team.
That's not good. That's bottom 10.
We're gonna win. We're gonna win all of our division games. That's it.
That's.
DJ Jones.
I never would have got DJ Jones.
I'm saying RJ. I'm
We're gonna
like
beat the Texans,
RJ,
we're gonna beat
JJ,
Tennessee, and we're gonna
idiot.
We're gonna beat fucking the other scrub ass team that we got there. Fucking. What I say?
Dude, you're not beating the Texans twice.
Yeah.
No.
Nah, they might beat him once.
No, we're gonna beat.
He said they're gonna sweep the whole division.
Actually,
lose
who do you
every
guys
other
have
game.
as a quarterback?
Us.
Yeah.
Danny Dimes.
bro.
Oh yeah, you got Danny Dimes.
It's over.
And now we got Warren. And
Listen, man,
JT.
you got the real Vanilla Vic now.
Yup. We're gonna smoke him, bro.
I like Danny Dimes for that. That's right. We talked about that. I like that pickup for the Colts.
Oh, Jag.
That's a good
right.
reclamation project.
Give me
Because there's no pressure. There's no pressure to succeed. And
Like,
actually,
none at all.
Ty Warren giving him a weapon to throw to, and just getting him out of the Giants franchise in general, which has become a total dumpster fire on
everybody.
on
which
every
is
level?
What I'm like, could you imagine if Danny Dimes
goes off and has a
turns
Saquon
into-
type rebirth.
is like the next Saquon of quarterbacks of how he was a running back? Like we see like
Is
Danny
comeback player
Dimes
of
like
the year
doing 360
available yet?
hurdles,
Not for
firing
Danny
balls
Dimes.
behind this. Just kidding. I'm obviously kidding, but it would be kind of funny to see like a solid resurrection out of like a. All we need is a fucking pocket passer, dude. Like, I love the Anthony Richardson fucking experiment. It was cool. I talked to a couple insiders last year when I was on the ride to the game, actually, to the Colts Patriots game. I had the privilege of riding up with a couple. I can't say. Honestly, I couldn't even tell you anyway. But I was with a couple employees or friends who.
You don't need to elaborate.
Gotcha.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And they were like, they know some people who work for Indy, and they were just saying, like, unfortunately, man, they just don't. AR is a bust, dude. It's just.
No.
This was last year. Like, while everything was still going on.
I
so,
told
like,
you draft day. He
Yeah,
sucks.
yeah. We know that. But his physicality and some of the times when he was healthy, he was pretty fucking awesome.
FanDuel doesn't have
Did you
it.
see that throw? He hit the fucking ceiling of the stadium, and I'm
It
like,
wasn't even
he's
the
ass.
throw. No, it wasn't. No, I'm telling you, he has some crazy athleticism, and he's definitely a powerhouse. It just sucks that he's not going to work out.
No, he just mentally can't do it. That's the thing. I think he has. I think he has.
Guy, when he
physically
was
can do
just
it.
like, I can't play.
He's like,
I'm fucking
let's
tired.
see.
Yeah.
tapping
Yo,
out.
what's wrong, bro? You hurt?
Nah,
Yeah, I'm hurt. What's wrong? My mental.
my lungs.
My mental's hurt. I can't take it. What? Get the fuck in there. Nah.
Unbelievable.
So he sits out, and we're like, all right,
There we
dude,
go.
I think we should trade him. I think we should get rid of him. Just dump him.
No one's gonna take him. He's gonna have to be a post June 1st cut
You know
for you
who's
guys to
gonna
save
take
money.
Him? You know who's going to take him?
Miami.
Cleveland. They take
seventh quarterback.
They take everybody. They're like, yeah.
I don't even see Danny Dimes on this list right now.
He's not eligible for comeback player of the year. He wasn't hurt or anything. He was released.
Wait, what do you? Why would you say he was comeback?
Oh,
player of the
yeah,
year?
because
Is that
he
what you're
has-
trying to
so-
argue? Oh,
It doesn't have to be
it has to
hurt,
be
doesn't
injury or like disappearance or like missed a year or it has to be something
don't
like
know.
that.
Do you
Yeah.
have to? Really? I don't know.
Or you like left football and then came back. It can't just be like you were ass.
No, NFL Comeback Player of the Year voting criteria has long been unclear. Some have won it after returning from injuries.
did Joe Flacco get it when he came back off
No.
the couch? No, was he ineligible?
Yeah, because Ryan
He
Tannehill
didn't
won
play
it.
enough
And he never
games.
missed any time. He just had a career renaissance.
He got
Right,
comeback
because
player.
because he was
Yeah.
probably a journeyman, got traded a bunch of times. And
He
then,
was
like,
not a
threw-
journeyman.
2019
Wait,
with the
who?
Titans.
Ryan Tannehill was not
Oh,
a journeyman.
Tannehill. I
He
was
went
thinking
from
Fitzpatrick.
Miami.
Sorry, I
He
was
went
thinking
from
Fitzpatrick.
failed Miami quarterback right to the Titans.
Unless I'm missing his name on here, but I don't see him. But that
But
means
he probably went from like 10 touchdowns to like 30, and they were like,
it can be
"Wow!"
bought. Listen, I'm just saying it can be bought. Somebody will take that bet. Danny Dimes, Comeback Player of the Year. I mean, listen.
I doubt it, but we'll see.
As of right now, the leader in the clubhouse is Aiden Hutchinson at plus 250.
Wow.
Dak Prescott at
Could be.
325. Dak didn't miss any time last year, did he?
He missed some games. Yeah,
Couple
he was
games,
hurt.
but yeah, it wasn't like Christian McCaffrey plus 350, Trevor Lawrence plus 500. I mean, we're talking about guys that
Dude,
Max.
There are Dallas fans that
Why is
wanna-
Max Crosby listed on this though?
Comeback?
Yeah. Why would Mad Max be Comeback Player of the Year
Isn't
opening
he
odds?
still beast in his
Who
position?
Didn't he
fucking
just?
knows?
Didn't you like tear it up in Oakland last year? I mean,
didn't
is
he
that,
fuck
see,
shit
that's
up?
what I'm
threatened-
saying.
he
That's what I'm
threatened to
saying.
leave.
Danny Dimes should be on that list.
He threatened to leave, and then he's like, "I'm back."
Wow.
Yeah, like always back, baby. All right. We'll wrap it up there with the draft talk.
Cheer.
What else did we have to get to?
What about another underage? This time, female controlling.
Oh, right. So the Belichick interview.
Oh, that dumb. I saw that. Fuck off.
Dude,
We're
that
not
is-
talking about that. I'm sorry. No,
I'm so
not
confused
gonna
by
go
what's
there.
going on with that situation.
Did you know she has like creative control at
Yeah.
University of North Carolina? What the fuck is happening?
Dude, she's probably got some like rape allegations she's keeping
Nah.
hush, and everybody's jumping her fucking hoops.
No, the whole thing is that everyone's saying that she's like an escort now that he like paid for a high-end
She's
escort.
got dirt. People,
I don't know.
I mean, listen.
It's awkward. It sucks
all the
to
shit
see.
Belichick's doing with her, like the Instagram picture, like I'm on the beach and like
It's
he's
weird.
like she's like riding on his feet, like I don't know, man. This whole shit is weird. We don't have to spend too much time on this because it's just fucking weird.
It's demoralizing though. He dressed up as Long John Silver and he's revealing her as dressed as a mermaid. I'm like, that's not Belichick.
It
Like, that's
definitely
weird.
sucks to see that, like, and I'm like, and you know, maybe it sucks for us because as football fans, we're like, no, we want to see Bill go to UNC and kill it.
Rex, right?
But-
I love feet. Belichick, hold my beat. Like,
Belichick.
Like,
It's crazy. Right
we
now.
want to see. I want to see Bill do well at UNC. I want to see him go win a national championship or like put together a playoff team. Like,
right? He's still got a contract to uphold.
but this whole girlfriend thing, like, I mean, honestly though, she's what 24.
24,
Oh, she's 4.
He's
I thought it
24.
was 1. Okay.
He's what 70 something.
75.
So we're talking a 51-year difference.
Oh, that's terrible.
Can you imagine?
You
Like-
don't say.
Paul, like, listen, I'm 40. I'm a man.
God,
Damn it! We all did it at the same
We
time.
all said it at the same
you
time.
don't have the hot button?
No, I didn't cook that one up.
Fuck!
No, I don't have that one. We'll have to get that one.
Wow! Okay, there we go.
So I'm trying to think of
Sorry,
like
73. I'm sorry.
okay, so
way.
whatever, 49-year
still
difference.
50 years.
I'm trying to think like if I was dating right now, what the fuck would I have in common with a 24-year-old?
No, you would be dating a negative alive person.
No, I'm just saying at 40,
I'm dating a man's balls.
at like 40 to 24, there is such a gap of like maturity.
I
and-
would just like, you would be like, what the fuck are you talking? I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense. You're right. It doesn't make any
Right.
sense.
It's just, it's like, what the fuck would we even talk about?
Even 40 to 18, it's like,
40 to 18 is even worse.
40 to 18.
no, it's not. No, it's not worse. It's less than 73
guy,
to
try, like-
24.
Oh no,
try
I'm just saying for me right now,
Try like 30 to 40. It's like, what?
that can be a big gap, dude, depending on like who the person is. Like, and I
10
get it, like,
years is a gap.
but like, dog, like, what the
5
fuck
years
does a
is a major-
73-year-old have like in common or interest with a 24-year-old? Now, listen, I get it, bro. Bill's clapping some 24-year-old cheeks at 73.
That's
Maybe.
it.
That's pretty baller.
And he's paying up
That's
the
pretty
ass
baller. All
for
right.
it.
I mean, good for him. I'm not hating on him. Do your thing, dog. But also, like, the selfish sports fan in me, like, has some pretty high expectations for you at UNC. Don't let this bitch fuck that up.
You better win a lot this year.
Dude,
Can you imagine if they come out and suck?
Oh, they're gonna.
If UNC comes out and suck, no, I don't think they will. But can you imagine if like they come out and just it's a flop or the whole, and then this thing like 2 years from now, Belichick just like gone.
No, they're not Ohio. They're not.
Yeah, but NIL money makes all the difference in the world, dude. It's going to take 2 or 3 years to build a program, but it can happen.
Right.
Trust me.
With
The amount of
Belichick.
money in college football and where the money's going to go based on the coaching staff and all the connections that Bill's going to have and getting guys to the NFL, if he's on his game, UNC is going to be a powerhouse before long while he's there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that being said, though, I don't like the whole like they show up. My thing was like they show up to this interview with what was it like NBC or CBS or something like that, and I don't know, like it was Bill and her, were they expecting football questions?
That's what I didn't understand.
Because, like, dog, this is, like, basically TMZ at this point.
Yeah.
No one gives a shit about the football side of things. They want to know about the 73-year-old, 8-time Super Bowl champion, greatest head coach of all time, and his 24-year-old girlfriend. That's got you doing shit that you never allowed your players to do, always told your players not to do, and now you're doing it. What's up? What's going on?
Well, he's looking back and he's like, well, you won fucking championships, didn't you? When everybody wants to bitch, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
but also, are you trying to still win championships?
Probably
or
not. He's
are you
getting
just
paid.
content? Are you just content clapping some 24-year-old
he
cheeks?
went to college. He's getting paid. Now he's clapping cheeks.
I don't know. I'm a little concerned that this even for the great Bill Belichick, that this could become a major distraction and a problem. Because when she snipped at the interviewer and was like, "We're not talking about that."
Apparently, that was like one of several times, though.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I was like,
I'm like,
whoa,
yo,
bitch.
whoa. I'm like, who's this bitch? First of all. Second of all, like, I don't think Bill Belichick needs you to speak for him. Bill Belichick doesn't need anybody to speak for him.
But I guess he does, because in the book he says, "Thank you to my creative muse, Jordan," whatever her last name is.
Oh, right, in which the guy questions how come Robert Kraft's not mentioned at all.
And Bill was just
Whatsoever.
he just shrugged his shoulders. He's like,
Yeah, you're right about that. He's not mentioned. Not even like in the, like, he's not mentioned once in the book or once in like the notable mentions. He's like, yeah, you're right.
I mean, listen.
all right.
We talked about this ad nauseum,
Which is fine.
We all know there was basically a falling out between Belichick and Kraft the last couple of years.
Fine. You don't gotta mention Kraft. I guess you could, because you did.
I think
mention
Kraft
many times playing football for his organization or coaching football for his organization, but
again,
are you supposed to mention him? No,
I don't know. I
think
didn't read the
so.
book, so
Me
I don't
neither.
know what the
I'm not
context of
fucking
it was.
book's not out
I'm
yet.
not reading that.
Oh, all
shit
right. Well,
anyway.
I might. If it's Bill Belichick, I might.
Give me
If it's football related and it's Bill Belichick, yeah, I probably want to know what's going on
that
in there.
Cliff Notes guy died, so just call me when that shit comes up.
Yeah. But no, I'm genuinely interested. Like, Bill Belichick's one of the few guys that I would love to sit down and just talk football with. You know what I mean? Like, and you'd be a fool not to.
Oh yeah.
So, but my thing is with the book and everything coming out, I don't know. Like, I don't know. But we all know there was a falling out between him, the Crafts, Brady. Like, it didn't end well. I'm sure they're going to smooth it all over and everything's going to be like hunky-dory at some point, and there'll be retirement ceremonies and, you know, all this lavish shit and whatever. But I don't know. I think, like, Bob Kraft right now seems like he's, like, focused on way other shit, and Jonathan Kraft couldn't wait to get Bill out the door.
Yes.
So
Bob Kraft seems really out of it, like more so lately. He
Yeah.
seems like out of it.
he's
Like
all,
loopy old mind, or
dude. He's kind of like he's not Joe Biden bad, but it's almost like they put him up they put him up in front of people to like make appearances, but they just like got to tell him what to say. And
Yeah, and then like they ask him about oh, how much longer do you think you're going to be like involved with like the Patriots organization? And he goes, oh, like we all have succession plans and things like that. And the reporter's like, what about you? Like, how much longer are you going to be? He was like, about 3 years. I'm like, what? Like 3 years? Like, buddy, you're coming out here just rambling about shit, how everything's going great. They asked him point blank. They're like, yo, is it true you still have ashtrays on the team plane? Like, their players still talk. Their players gave you guys an F for transportation. They just flat out F, because you know the player things come out.
Oh yeah.
The players from last season, the Mayo year, gave them an F for transportation. They said our plane has still ashtrays in the seats.
That's from the 80s, dog.
80s, it's like 70s still.
70s,
Well,
80s.
no, mid-90s.
Doesn't have propellers.
Right, but yeah, Jen.
But anyway,
no,
like still,
I'm
if that's a 30-year-old
We
plane,
flew on planes that still had ashtrays in them.
a lot.
Yeah.
But we were fucking 10. That was 25 fucking years ago.
But
That's what I'm
This is-
saying, bro.
this is-
25 years ago was 2000.
this is still like
Yeah,
elite
planes
players.
from the 80s was reasonable. They were 20-year-old planes. That's fine. Now, you would expect, like, smoking's been outlawed for a little while now, bro. 40-year-old
25
plane,
years.
50-year-old plane. Come on.
But like just like the accommodations and everything like that, like they ask him about it, and he's like, everyone has their own feelings about things. It's like, what? Like he gives like these like passive aggressive answers, and then Jonathan Kraft is up there like when they're introducing Will Campbell on stage, and like he's our first overall draft pick, and like they always do, Jonathan Kraft looks like Mr. Burns all of a sudden, where his neck is like perched all the way forward and his shoulders are back.
Yeah, with his spiny fingers and shit.
And I'm
Why
like-
wouldn't the league join together and as a joint thing with the NFL? Be like,
Non-profit
let's go to
corporation.
they can't go to Boeing
No.
or McDonald's. Be like, yo, we're gonna need 32 planes. We're gonna need 64 planes. Okay, 2 for each team. Fuck it, right? Why not?
No, that doesn't.
Get
First
a
of all,
fucking-
why would Boeing agree to do that? It would bankrupt Boeing.
Why?
You know how much a fucking Boeing 747 costs?
Well, yeah, that's why you price them to cost. So you usually charge more for what they cost to build. That's how business works.
No, but that's no. But no, if you're
But
charging,
if
if
the
you're
NFL
charging
came to us
cost,
like, yo, we need a couple planes, I'm sure Boeing wouldn't be like, you're gonna bankrupt us from buying too much shit.
dude, I don't know if you saw Boeing stock. It's not doing great.
Regardless, Boeing, McDonald's, or whoever the fucking manufacturing planes these days, I don't know, whatever. What's that other fucking company?
Okay.
McDonnell Douglas.
That's what I said, McDonnell Douglas. But Boeing, McDonnell Douglas, and isn't there one more, one other?
Okay, one brand new Boeing 747 is $360 million.
Okay, franchises are selling for $5 billion. What are we talking here?
He's
It's a
like,
drop in the hat.
and Paul's like, put my franchise down for 2.
That's 10% of most franchises worth.
Yeah, well, you're not supposed, right? And what do they say? Your car is not supposed to exceed 5 or 10% of your worth or something like that. So it's it's a big company car.
5 or 10% of your no, it's gonna be less than that.
Something like that. No, yeah, something like that.
If a car exceeds 10% of your income,
no, your bill,
That's most people it does now.
It's not
A car
supposed to,
definitely
a car,
exceeds 10%
no,
of your
a car
income.
bill is not supposed to exceed about
Tell
10%
of your weekly
monthly,
income.
No, monthly income.
There's no way. That's
Yeah,
not
no,
right.
weekly.
That's not right
weekly,
anymore.
10% of weekly income? What the fuck?
Do you know how much?
$10
All right,
cars?
all right. Behind the curtains, do you know how much the average American pays for a car right now?
Probably $600 a month.
Wrong. $780 a month.
All right, that's even worse. I was just being good. I was being okay about it. I thought
Do
you were
you
gonna,
think
thought you
that's
were gonna say,
under 10%
I
for
thought you-
anybody? That
No,
person
that's
makes
probably
$7,000 a month.
50%.
And 10% of your monthly income is the same as 10% of your weekly income.
My bad. Maybe I'm a little.
If you make $1,000 a week,
Clearly, I'm a little out
that's
of touch
$100
here
a
in my
week.
fucking broke
if you make
ass
$4,000
job.
a month, it's $400 a
Damn,
month.
I'm
6
pretty
to 1.
fucking broke, but apparently I'm out of touch here with my broke ass job. I don't know.
No, I'm just saying, most people do not make $7,000 a month.
Neither do
He's-
Gross, yes.
He looks up.
I.
He's like,
Yeah, I was like, well, wait a minute. I'm like, I can't.
Gross, definitely.
I'm like, yeah.
Take home, no.
No, well,
take
there's
home
been
no
some
for anybody.
months.
We live in Massachusetts.
February, I did. Fuck that. But whatever. We're not talking about that.
$7,000 a month. Yeah, I could.
Whatever,
That's easy. That's 3 overtimes a pay
That's
period.
it. That's all I'm saying.
That's 3 in a pay period.
And
yeah.
I did 4 all through February.
Yeah.
So
That's just not possible anymore.
That's 6 overtimes in a month.
Especially with
I
get
did
to
12.
cost of cars.
So yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah,
neither here nor there.
yeah, whatever. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't
Our
matter.
salaries
but
are all public anyway, so people can look them
you
up.
can
Doesn't
go
matter.
Not
look 'em
mine.
the fuck up. Yeah,
Oh, sorry,
mine is. Go on, whatever.
Good old state employees.
Yeah, you can look it up.
But anyway, yeah, I don't understand this whole Jordan. What's her last name?
I don't know. Grace? I don't know.
Some with a B.
Don't know. All I saw was that horrible interview where she was barking from the back, and I was like, damn. I'm like,
All right, and to be listen, I get it. You want to be a girl boss and all that kind of shit, but to be Jordan Hudson.
but who is she?
But to
Where
be
does she come from?
you're kind of nobody, bro. Your only claim to fame is you're dating Bill Belichick somehow,
How?
and we don't even know if you're dating him or he's just paying you.
Yeah, you might have got him drunk one night, got some dirt on him, and cuffed him. That's what I think. I think he's scared to death that she's going to throw something out there on his, untarnished record because he fucked up one night. And
he
she's not
slipped
that
up.
bad, bro. She's not bad at all. You're Bill Belichick, dude. You could be in Monaco with a chick who don't even speak English 20 times better than that chick, who won't give up no damn secrets or hold you hostage for money because you got drunk one night and felt her titty up without her permission or something. Or whatever you did. I don't know. I don't know. Shut up. Look at it.
No, he's right. I mean,
Shit happens, bro. Shit happens. Cleat chases. We've all seen them, bro.
1,000%.
So I think she's got some fucking, because there's no fucking way. I don't know. Or maybe she's got the golden Totinsky, bro.
You talking like you got the golden Totinsky.
Got to. Because what else?
I mean,
I don't know.
She got that double, triple clamp.
Linda Holiday
squish,
wasn't even
squish
like
9,000, and he's just like, fuck, bro.
Belichick's ex-girlfriend there, the woman that he lived with forever, like Linda Holiday. She wasn't like an unattractive older woman.
Yeah, no.
Again, the age gap to me is the biggest thing. Like,
she's got dirt on him because he fucked.
I can't understand like a guy like especially a guy that you would assume like is as smart and well read as Belichick and like, what do you talk to a 24-year-old about? I mean, that's what that's meant. I mean, again, listen, I get it. If there's an ass for every seat. There's things I don't know. I'm not certainly not. It's not my business. But I don't think I'm out of line to first guess it and wonder aloud. I'm just saying.
It's awkward. I don't like it. It's getting
worse. We would be the first to fucking.
I mean, shit, dude. When I was 35, dating a 24-year-old sounded awful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
You're at two totally different points in life.
Remember that like little meme like a little while ago where it's just like, yo, what's the move tonight? And it was like, I don't know, bro, go start a fucking family. And it's like you're having like 36-year-old or something, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like, yo, what are we doing tonight? Like, I don't know, sitting on the couch watching Netflix till I fall asleep. Like,
yeah, like
I gotta
dude,
fucking work in the morning.
Yeah, like you're not 27 or younger anymore, bro.
Right.
Like,
all right. Well, let's put a pin in that. I'm saying that's one we'll keep tabs on as it goes because we're gonna get a lot more material out of that, especially as the season gets closer.
He just needs to. If he wins, this all goes away. If they come out and they're trash.
How many times did we hear it in New England, Sean, over the years? Winning cures everything. Nobody gave a shit about fucking flat footballs all of a sudden when they kept winning.
But if you start seeing her on the sideline with a headset on, I'm gonna be like, there's some weird shit happening.
Well, you find out she's banging one of the players on the side.
She's the assistant quarterback coach. All right, you gotta throw the ball as hard as you can, as far as you can.
It's like, yo, coach, do I listen to her? He's like, yeah, you do. I do, so you do. It's like, what the fuck?
Yep.
Anyway.
He's like, she's 2 years older than me.
We'll wrap it up real quick with some bets. We've got Miami this week, Paul. Formula One, back in Miami.
Yeah.
McLarens are the favorites as of right now.
Well, they're doing pretty good, so.
Max is number 3. I'll pull up the odds real quick just so we can take a look-ski at them.
I'm bringing them up as well.
They're not great odds. Not anything I'm willing to like throw significant money at. Max is plus 600 actually. That might actually be worth a look.
Honestly, I'm glad fucking McLaren's winning, bro.
Piastri and Norris are both plus 145.
I love my phone. Do you have an addiction? Yeah, sure.
Well, yeah, sure I do. George Russell I still think is getting my favorite odds though. Plus 1400.
And qualifying Piastri's first.
They haven't qualified yet.
Should I bet on the president, Lewis
Hamilton?
Hamilton?
Was last week. My bad. That was Saudi Arabia. My fault.
What's that?
Should I bet on the president, Lewis Hamilton?
That was Bahrain.
Plus 3,500.
Plus 3,500 for Hamilton.
Lewis Hamilton, mark my words, will not be on Ferrari much longer.
Okay.
It does not seem that. It does seem like it's going pretty south pretty quick.
What the fuck does that mean?
So, well, here's the thing with Formula. So there's going to be a major shakeup next year. I think Lewis finishes out this year because of the contract.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
But next year, there is a very heavy rumor that Max Verstappen is going to be leaving Red Bull for Aston Martin.
Okay.
That is a rumor that has been bouncing around, and we will find out this summer because that's when, like, during their summer break, that's like their free agency period for the next year.
This is just sponsors, obviously. He's
no,
not
this is
driving.
Teams. He's changing teams.
Okay, but the team is a sponsor.
No, the team is the team that the sponsors come and go. Sponsor can sponsor a team, but a team is a team. So Aston Martin is owned by Lawrence Stroll, who is a major. I think he was made his money in fertilizer.
Okay, but he's leaving and he's driving an Aston Martin. I'm assuming.
So Max right now drives for Red Bull. He drives the Red Bull team.
Okay, what the fuck is he driving on Red Bull? He's not driving a can. What the fuck is he driving?
Well, he's driving a Formula One car. It's powered by Honda.
Okay, all right.
It's got a Honda motor in it.
That's what I'm asking.
Aston Martin has got, but all the motors are the same. But there's going to be 11 teams starting next year. There's 10 right now. There's going to be 11 next year with the Cadillac team coming into the fold.
Yep.
Okay.
Audi is going to be moving
coming
into the Kick Sauber team. So Kick Sauber sponsor a team. That's one of the teams. They what are they? They're going to be Audi next year. What are they this year, Paul? Renault?
Wait, who?
Kick Sauber? Are they Renaults?
The power units?
Yeah, I don't know what they are.
I'm not sure.
I forget. But anyway.
They're either Renault, Ferrari, or Mercedes.
They're going to be, anyway, or Honda.
I don't think they're Honda.
No.
Honda's, I think, only specific to Honda right now.
Honda's only Red Bull?
Yeah,
and
that's
the
it.
fly,
I think they're the only one supplying units for them. That's it.
What are they? What's the fly? Not the Flying Reds. The
Alpine.
No, what's the Red Bull Junior team?
Yeah, I think it's Alpine, isn't it? Well, like the.
No, the Raging Bulls. That's what it is.
Oh yeah. The other
Alpine is its own team.
I thought they were like affiliated. No.
I think they are all the Raging Bulls and Red Bull. That's like the sister team. That's like the feeder team.
Right.
Alpine could be.
Right.
Is Alpine a feeder team for McLaren?
Oh,
You're asking the wrong person.
No, that's Paul. But anyway, the point is that I think that there's a pretty heavy rumor that
it's
Max.
Renault.
It is Renault.
Alpine's Renault.
Alpine's Renault. There's a pretty heavy rumor that Max Verstappen could be leaving Red Bull to go to Aston Martin next year.
Okay.
Because was Adrian Newey, who was the aero guy, the chief aerodynamics guy for Red Bull, left and went to Aston Martin this year.
Yep.
And his complete focus right now is not even on this year. He's focused on next year in the new car. So Adrian Newey worked wonders for Red Bull the last 5 years. That's why they were able to catch up and ultimately beat Mercedes
right.
for 4 straight titles. Max has a really good relationship with Newey. Max's dad has a really good relationship with him. If things end up going that way and Max leaves Red Bull and goes to Aston Martin, it makes Aston Martin an instant juggernaut. Regardless whether or not they keep what's his name in the second seat, which I don't know that they would. Fernando Alonso.
Alonso, yeah.
I don't know if they would go with somebody younger or not, but there's going to be a big shakeup this offseason. And we'll know, I think, the break is usually like late July through late July through late August.
Right. And
Mid-August.
Aston uses Mercedes power unit,
so it'll be interesting. But
Okay.
which is
for
very,
betting
very
for
good.
betting purposes for this week for Miami, listen, plus 600 for Max isn't bad. Is it a long shot? Kinda. But if you want to lock him in now, because God forbid he goes out and puts the car on the pole, he'll be down to like plus 200 or plus 150. And those other two, the McLarens, they're not going to move much in odds. So they're going to be the odds-on favorites to win the race, whether they qualify well or not.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing you can only gain by putting money on Verstappen now, if you wait till qualifying, you risk losing it. You risk losing that payback. You know what I mean? So right now, $20 gets you 120. If Max wins the race, you could bet him to podium, but I don't think that's worth it. I think he's negative odds to podium. But nonetheless, I like Max as a bet. The McLarens are probably going to win it.
Yeah.
They won it last year. I mean, I think that was the first race they won last year was Miami. And that was when all of a sudden we had to start taking them seriously.
Right.
So
they run a Mercedes power unit too. See?
So it's going to be interesting, but I like Max at plus 600 but that's a flyer because Formula 1 is such a different animal. Max can win this race. He's won it before. He won it 2 years ago. I think he won it every year that it's been there up until last year when McLaren finally pulled off the upset. They actually got kind of lucky last year, but this year McLaren's they're the dominant team right now.
You're thinking of AlphaTauri, by the way.
AlphaTauri, thank you.
That's the other Red Bull team.
That's the Raging Bulls that they call
Yeah,
it.
yeah. But Honda only supplies for those two.
Okay,
That's
thank
what
you.
I was trying to clear up.
So Max plus 600, I don't mind. NASCAR odds are not out yet, so if you want the NASCAR betting odds, make sure you subscribe to the Roll One Seat One Facebook page. I put up my betting list every Saturday night, Sunday morning, usually Sunday mornings, or Sunday right around noon. It's Texas this week. Races at 3:30. Last week I didn't do good. My wallet didn't do good. I didn't cash in. But if you if you read my article and you took my advice, and I told you with my bonus bets that I would take any one of the 3 Penske cars, although I did say for full transparency that I would lean away from Cindric and more towards Blaney and Logano
Right.
at this track, which looking back at it, I don't know why I said lean towards Blaney. He's had the shittest luck of any driver I've ever seen in my entire life this year. So that was stupid. Cindric ends up winning the fucking race. So I end up saying, hey, pick one of these Penske cars. They got a great shot to win it. Do I listen to myself? No. I doubled down, and I threw 4 units on Slick Willie. So I was looking for the big payout, $640 was what I was trying to cash in on. Slick Willie ends up finishing 3rd, naturally, because, why not? The other guy that finished in 2nd, who ended up getting DQ'd, but did finish the race in 2nd, was Ryan Preece, who I said I really liked. And if you listen to what I had said about Ryan Preece going into this race. I said, listen, he's been really good at these tracks, and when he's not upside down and flying through the air, he's got a chance to win. Now, he's been upside down and flying through the air a bunch the last couple times we've come to the super speedways, but when he has gone upside down and flown through the air, he's at least been in the front when he did it. So he's getting wrecked out at the front of the field a lot, which is sometimes it be like that. This week he did not get wrecked out. He did manage to finish the race. Cindric beat him in a drag race to the start finish line. It was a photo finish. Cindric just edged him by a CH. So I gave you Cindric as the winner. I gave you Preece as a winner. He finished second. I gave you William Byron. He finished third. So we had 1-2-3 finish. Kyle Busch did not have a great day. He got wrecked with Blaney early on and Keselowski. Chris Buescher got taken out by Denny Hamlin, through Christopher Bell, which was one of my other picks. Mm-hmm. And who else did I have? Noah Gragson, who I believe finished sixth, if I'm not mistaken.
I'll say I don't know who finished sixth.
Let's see. We had a pretty all in all we had a pretty good track record for who we picked. So I had, let's see. I had Bubba Wallace, who finished 8th. Gragson finished 4th.
Wow, okay.
So I had 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 5. Because technically because Preece got disqualified, he got removed. So technically Gragson finished on the grid in 5th. Bubba Wallace finished 8th, who we also had. The only guys that didn't have a good day that we put money on were Kyle Busch, who finished 27th. He got damage early on. He was at a pretty banged-up car. And like I said earlier, Chris Buescher, who got wrecked. So that sucks. Logano was the other one, the other Penske driver that I recommended you take. He got disqualified as well. Him and Ryan Preece, both for like post-race car violations, bullshit stuff. But NASCAR's not taking any shit when it comes to fucking with these cars anymore.
Post-race car violations.
So I think Preece was missing a bolt in the spoiler, and Logano had like something loose in the wheel well that was supposedly could allow for better airflow or something like that. Who knows?
What the hell?
When it comes to these next gen cars, NASCAR does you don't touch them, you don't do anything. You do what we tell you, and that's it. And they're not fucking around. They're DQing cars. A lot of times it would be like a fine. You get docked points, but you'd still be able to keep your finishing spot.
Right,
now they're just like, not you DQ'd.
Bye.
Happened to Kevin Harvick 2 years ago in the fall race. There was some bolts missing from his rear windshield, and it was allowing it to flex, which they thought was allowing air to escape outside, out of the rear windshield.
Weird.
Which was giving him, allegedly gave him better aerodynamic, and they were like, what the fuck? We're like, we wish we thought of that. It's a great idea, but no.
It's giving him powers.
So, but NASCAR, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. So, we got Texas this week. Chase Elliott's the defending champ. I'm definitely going to be heavy on the Hendrick cars again this week. So, Kyle Larson, Slick Willie, Alex Bowman, I think, is going to be my dark horse to win this one. And then I'm probably going to go Ross Chastain because he's been running really well this year, really consistent. He ran well here last year, if I'm not mistaken. And I don't know. I'll have to wait. And then I'll probably make my picks. I'll probably pick a couple guys post-qualifying as well. See what the odds are, what they open up at. And then I'll debate whether or not I'm going to run do post-qualifying or pre-qualifying picks based on the odds. Because sometimes you get a guy, you're like, oh, he's plus 1,400 before qualifying. And you're like, all right, well, he's going to be fast. It's only going to go down. And they qualify and they end up in the top 5 and they're like, oh, plus 600. You're like, fuck.
Right.
So I like to get the money in early sometimes like to wait. It depends. But yeah, I fucked myself this week because by not sprinkling and putting, an additional unit on Cindric and Preece, I put 4 units on William Byron in hopes of a bigger cash out. And, well, I could have paid for my day. And then a little bit more, but I was looking for the big time payout. So
got it.
We're gonna So
that's how it goes, bro.
Like I said, my picks. I pick 4 winners. My format is I always pick 4 winners, 4 guys to win every week. I'll give you a couple of bonus bets of guys that I like, but I'm not really like super confident in, but I think can win it. You know, this week I gave you Cindric and Priest. They finished 1-2.
Right.
A couple weeks ago I gave you Denny Hamlin. He wins. You know, a few weeks before that I gave you Christopher Bell. He wins.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but I always do 4 guys to win, and I like to sprinkle. So I don't like to, really load up on one guy or another, but we're 1-9 on the season. We've got one win. We won the Daytona 500, and that's been it. So I said we were going to get 2 out of the next 3. You know, William Byron dominates the ever-loving shit out of Darlington.
Yep.
Late pit stops, he gets fucked. Denny Hamlin steals one. Following week at Bristol, Kyle Larson just runs away with it, and we had no real shot. This week at Talladega, we just Slick Willie's right there, second place in the outside line, just couldn't get a run to make the move.
Right.
So
close.
We're knocking on the door. The law of averages will swing back in our favor. I know it will. So we'll be back to our winning ways with our NASCAR bets coming up. I can promise you that. So we've got a good month of May coming up. We've got Texas this week. Then we got the North Wilkesboro. We got the All-Star race. And then we got Charlotte at the end of the month for the 600. That's always a fun one. Indy 500 coming up the end of the month, and Monaco as well. So
nice.
It is the best month of the year for racing. So stay tuned. Be sure to give us a subscribe on the Row 1 Seat 1 page if you want to get those bets that I put out every single Sunday morning, and you can place your bets accordingly. But we good there, boys? We leave it there? We good? We gooch? I gotta go to bed because I gotta wake up in like 5 hours. So
For work?
yeah, I'm on training this week.
Yeah.
I'm off tomorrow.
Well, me too. Me and you in 5 hours of waking up.
Yeah. I've been doing good waking up. It hasn't been the problem. It's been staying awake. Like by noon, I'm like, all right.
No, it's been the opposite for me. The littlest one will not stay asleep, and it's killing me now. Waking up is the hard. Once I'm up, once I'm up for the day until I crash. When I crash, it's bad.
For some reason, I have like just wicked anxiety about sleeping through my alarms. Like I don't get anxious about anything.
Oh, I sleep through my alarms now,
but
unintentionally.
I get wicked anxious about it, and I wake up and I'm like, I'll wake up at like every like 45 minutes. I'll wake up. And be like, oh, what time is it? I'm like, oh, okay, it's only 2:45.
I do that too.
And I'll wake up at 3:30. I'm like, oh no, I still got time.
Why don't you get one of those? Why don't you get one of those bracelets that like it shakes when
I'm a
it's time?
psycho. I wake up like.
Is that what that does?
I wake up 5 minutes before my alarm, and I just like zombie that shit. Like I just like arise up and just get out of bed and just start getting dressed. Moni thinks I'm a fucking complete psycho because I don't know why.
That is a psychopathic tendency. Yes.
Is it?
Probably.
I just
it sounded like it.
I just wake up. I look at my alarm and I'm like, oh, 5 minutes. Delete or like cancel, and I just get up and like go. And she's like, no alarm. I'm like, nope, nothing. Just up and going.
Nah, I mean, if I wake up 5 minutes before my alarm, I'll drag my ass out of bed.
It's every fucking time.
But that's better than closing your eyes and then sleeping through it.
I don't do that.
Yeah, because then you get fucked.
When I wake up, I'm like up, because if I got to wake up early, I'm just like you, every half hour, like whatever. But I've trimmed that down to just like sleeping 5 minutes before. Okay, I'm fucking up, and now I'm up.
See, I can't even sleep all the way through. It sucks.
I just found the
it's also a pain in the ass too when you go from working overnights to having to wake up at
that's facts.
5:45 in the morning. I'm usually like getting up and like walking around and doing rounds. Now I'm like and going home.
Yeah.
Now I'm going in. And it's just total clusterfuck.
It's a fuckery.
Tis a fuckery. But anyway, tomorrow's the last day. I got to wake up like early, so no big deal. But we will be back next Tuesday night, regularly scheduled program, no interruptions, no nothing. I think we're good through the month of May. As far as Tuesdays go, I don't have anything coming up.
Oh, I got to talk to you.
Okay, but no worries. But other than that, we'll be back next Tuesday night, 8:45 p.m. right here on the one, the only, the New Bedford Guide. Thank you all for joining us. For Mr. Betancourt and Plizzy, I am Joey Fats. This has been another episode of Row 1 Seat 1 right here on Joey Fats Radio. We'll check you next week. Peace.
Adios.
It's